What is that? There's no stopping the new Trump biopic, Bill Paxton's dark sequel that never was, and Emma Stone brings Nathan Fielder to the big screen.
Time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller?
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller?
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kim left to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates, and welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Joseph.
I'm Peter.
I'm Tyler.
And we have a great show for you today. Welcome everyone on YouTube Live and otherwise, and of course, the OG classmates listening in podcast land.
Yeah, here we are.
Dedicated audio listeners.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all wearing dark shirts.
Yeah. Optimum for a live stream video.
Is it bad or good?
I mean, we have a very colorful background, luckily.
Your shirt. What does that say right there?
Huh?
What does it say?
It just says bear hug.
Bear hug?
Yeah.
Bear hug. What does that mean?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just a bear
It
hug?
looks like embroidery. You have embroidery on your t-shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Damn, that's fancy.
Where'd you get that?
From Bear Hug.
From Bear Hug, California.
Yeah.
Oh.
I now closed business.
But
Oh, wow.
But yeah, enough about my shirt and our dark shirts.
yeah.
Welcome back to the show.
Hey, look, Joel's in the chat.
Hell yeah.
Joel. We got Joe Bridges.
Yeah, what's up? And Angie.
Angie.
Pops in usually at the beginning of the chat and just says hi.
And the dork of all dorks.
And we never see her again. Oh, what's up, Heather? How you doing?
Talking about pickles and sauerkraut and, and recipes.
Could have been a what?
Sourdough starters, homemade beef jerky, homemade hot. If what's it called? If Eric comes on, he could talk about his homemade hot sauce. He's got hot sauce.
Oh, he makes hot sauce.
Oh, yeah. Did you get it?
He sent me a bottle, and FedEx destroyed it.
They destroyed it.
Literally, the package was soaking wet when I got it. And
I'm not surprised.
I opened it up, and there was just chunks of glass and jalapeno juice.
Oh my God.
I'm not
It was very
surprised.
sad. I contemplated slurping some of it from the package.
Just taking some.
It smelled good.
Licking the cardboard.
Yeah, I just didn't know what kind of,
how it was handled.
I'm not surprised.
Legionnaire's disease or something I was going to get from sucking on that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Jalapeno
I'm not
sauce.
surprised it was destroyed. Like, oh my God, those
Still don't know.
shippers do not
Still
give
haven't
a
tasted
crap.
Eric sauce.
Well, he's got like 6 batches,
Oh, okay.
different flavors and stuff. Tyler, you sound upset about FedEx. Are they your nemesis?
No. I'm not upset about it. I just said like I'm not surprised because like due to the nature of my work, people who ship these packages, they do not give a crap about the packages. They're just throwing them around.
Yourself included?
Yeah, myself included. Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, like I don't know what to say.
No, I do know what to say because stop ordering online.
FedEx doesn't
Stop
care.
it.
FedEx doesn't care about packages. DHL doesn't care about fences.
Yeah.
Don't bring that up again. We're not
People's
litigating
property
that again.
is less than packages.
Yeah, I was green back then.
Tyler
I'm
still
more
hasn't
seasoned now.
Tyler still hasn't admitted to his fault when he backed over that person's fence and fled.
I have admitted as much to it.
But you didn't do anything to correct it.
What would I have done? What would I have done?
Go to their house and tell them.
Written a formal apology.
in their formal like
Yeah.
I posted a letter. I'm sorry I backed up into your fence.
Yeah, it's like one of those videos where the father says, he makes their kid hold a sandwich sign, a sign on the side of the road or something that said, "I stole from my grandmother" or something like that.
The disciplinary action.
Yeah. You're
No.
like,
It's like public shaming.
yeah, public shaming.
Oh, okay. So
That's
you
what I
want? Yeah. Well, I'm already
Just
publicly
put a sign around your
ashamed.
neck.
I ran over
I-
the fence.
Oh, like in the beginning of Die Hard 3 when Bruce Willis
yeah.
is undercover and he's got the racist
He says, "I
sign.
hate everyone." on
Yeah.
in the TV edit.
Yeah.
I'm already publicly shamed on a daily basis.
Well, weekly.
Weekly too.
Every time this episode,
Weekly,
this
daily,
show
monthly,
airs.
yearly.
Yeah.
Hourly.
I can't escape it.
By the
Hourly and by the minute.
Can't go 2 minutes without one shame of Tyler.
Well, I mean, it's great to be back in the studio after my
Oh, yeah, you're
infirmity.
welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you.
You sound good.
Thank you. Yeah. I feel a lot better.
It's a super hot weather.
Sleeping with socks on. That's what it does. It.
Yeah, I think so. I
Keeps
think I might be onto something.
Keeps it
there.
nice and moist.
Yeah, sleep nude, but with only black business socks.
Only socks, nothing else.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. That's how I make my love.
Ew. Okay. Well, that's just good business right there.
Well, how can the girls get to wear knee-high socks, but I don't get to wear anything?
Yeah. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
That's my lingerie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, you hit the nail on the head.
All right, I don't know what we're talking about now, but let's move on to movies. Gab and Chatter.
Find some charity, you lad. Now's the time for gab and chatter.
Gab and Chatter, movie news, movie discussion, things to talk about that are hopefully related to movies in the media world. Pete.
Me?
One breath.
Oh,
Pete.
okay. First off, before I get into my news story, I have an email from Gossip Girl.
Oh, yes. I forgot.
Yes, we got an email from Gossip Girl.
Oh no.
Yes, that's
I'm
right.
sure it's about me, right?
It is about you, Tyler. How'd you guess?
I fucking knew it.
We are very curious to who this person is.
Yeah, because I didn't know if we even talked about this on air, to be honest, but we must have.
Yeah.
How would they know?
Unless it's a
No,
mole.
I think.
So listeners that are new to the show, they might may not know that Gossip Girl was a mysterious writer
Who disparaged me?
who basically took you to task for using the word "like" too much.
Right. Yeah.
And that prompted, that was not the only email that we received about that particular complaint. And it prompted a new editing tool that we have called Descript, which basically goes through your entire show, your audio feed, and finds fill words and then edits them out. So if you hear some like choppy sort of stuff every once in a while, it's probably
Because of that program.
the computer program or cutting out a billion likes and uhs and ums and things like that. So anyways, the last email from Gossip Girl basically said Tyler needs to do better or something like that. And then just signs it XOXO GG Gossip Girl. So this new email came in immediately after this last episode
Okay.
on Monday, first day of release,
Oh wow.
and said, should Tyler continue to share his AI images, Gossip Girl will share the truth about his stinky feet. XOXO GG.
Wait a minute. What? How would she know the stench of my pegs?
Did we talk about Tyler's socks on air?
I think we did.
We did- okay.
On the live stream. Like,
Okay.
I don't think it made it to like the hard edit, but on the live stream, she must have.
I
She
don't know
must
why
have
it
been
wouldn't.
there.
Why wouldn't it make it to the edit? The audio.
I don't cut much out of the show.
Okay, so it probably was. I would have to go back into the archives, but okay. What does she? What does she?
know. I don't
what does she
know.
care? What does she care about my stinky
But
feet?
the thing that confused me when I read that was the truth.
Yeah, what's the truth?
What is the truth behind that?
The truth. The truth about my stinky feet?
Yeah, what are you doing with your feet?
Genetics? I don't know. I mean, I bathe myself regularly.
Define regularly.
What is your regular?
Yeah. And just know whatever you say, we're gonna double that.
Yeah, how about we don't go into that? No, I do.
it's not
I do.
as-
I don't like. I admitted as much that yes. Do my feet stink? They can, but you can't smell them now because I've been paying much more attention to.
I just appreciate that you change your socks before you get here.
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I even take them off too, just to be safe.
But you heard her though. Gossip Girl said, "Should you continue to share
AI images.
images on your social media?"
I've been sending screenshots of Tyler's.
No, you only send one. I know. Yes,
I'll send another one to you right now.
What do you mean you send that? No, there's no AI image that I've shared.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Absolutely.
When? What? No. Mm-hmm. No.
He's keeping tabs.
Yeah, whenever I see it, I'm like, oh, this is probably AI.
No, I've been looking at the hashtags because it'll say hashtag AI art, and then I won't share it.
Sometimes it's on the profile.
Yeah, what about this one? Sir Gilead the Fourth.
Is that that's not an AI image?
If you go to the
If you go to the page, Sir Gilead the Fourth, created with help from Midjourney AI, posting every day.
Oh,
Right there.
I didn't even go to the profile.
Look
I
at
had
that.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
This one's not even
No.
a big titty goth girl. It's just a we don't know titty night girl because she's wearing a
We don't
full
know
suit of,
titties.
full suit of armor.
I had no idea.
But there's a trend here. Look at those lips. Tyler can't resist his anime women. So,
Well, I had no idea. I didn't even go to the profile. Like,
anyways,
I
Gossip
thought-
Girl, I will continue to call out Tyler about his AI
my
sharing,
God.
and then if you want to share the real truth, whatever that is, I'm
What real
curious.
truth? There's
Time
no-
that we
there's-
hear the truth.
We want the truth.
What truth? What truth? I don't understand, Gossip Girl. Like, what truth do you want from me?
Gossip Girl's like, is she anonymous?
Yeah,
Like, she
yes.
is, no, like she is anonymous. Like she is the
Oh, she's anonymous. The group, the hacking group.
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
She is anonymous.
I think
Maybe.
I think it's from a show.
Well, now I feel like my
one. I
life
don't know which
is
one,
in.
though.
I feel like my life is in danger now.
Oh shit, Gossip Girl's Matthew Burdick. So anyways, that's that. Thanks, Gossip Girl. Anybody else, write in mcfcpodcast@gmail.com. We'll read your email on the air.
All right.
Okay, so my actual news story is the new Trump biopic called The Apprentice is coming to theaters soon. This is starring Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn and Sebastian Stan as Trump himself.
Oh, they should have casted Tim Heidecker as Trump. That would have been the perfect.
No, he would have liked that too much. So it's debuting at Cannes, and it's reportedly there's a backer specifically that backed the actual film, donated millions of dollars supposedly to this film, thinking that it was going to be a like a positive view biopic for Trump, right?
Yes.
And this gentleman found out really that he used to actually be the owner of the Washington Sentinels, which used to be the Washington Redskins. Name's Dan Snyder. So he's chums with Trump, and he generously donated towards the Trump's political career in the past. He was under the impression that the Apprentice would paint Trump in a flattering light. Instead, an early script for the movie included a scene in which Trump rapes his first wife, Ivana.
Jesus.
And the finished product also includes a violent fight between the couple, according to an insider who spoke to Variety. So Dan Snyder is now reportedly so furious about the film that his contributions helped create that he enlisted lawyers to try to halt the release with cease and desist letters and may not attend the Apprentice's Cannes premiere. Yeah.
Oh.
Love that.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I think Sebastian Stan is the perfect pick for that because I don't know what he looks like.
I mean, like, I feel like
Trump?
No, Sebastian Stan. Every time I see him,
You forget what he looks like?
yeah, he's like a chameleon. He's in a new role. And
He
I'm
looks like Greg Kinnear. Or not Greg Kinnear, Mark Hamill.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I mean, like, you could probably make a movie out of the making of this movie too.
Probably
Yeah.
the making of.
Yeah.
So I got a couple comments in the chat. First of all, have you either you guys seen Godzilla -1 yet?
I have not.
Yeah,
no.
I saw it when it came out.
Okay. Oh yeah, you did. You know the cool guy, like the smart little guy with the cool hair, the old dude.
I don't know the character's name. Yeah. I remember.
Cool as fuck. Heather says that. Let's see, where's it coming here? Tyler's about to give the Godzilla -1 dude a hair competition.
What?
Wait, did you watch Godzilla?
That's a
No, I said-
compliment.
no,
That's a
oh,
compliment.
that's a compliment. Okay, thank you.
he's got-
Thank you. Finally,
he's got-
finally a compliment.
Someone on Team Tyler.
Yeah.
He's got S tier hair.
Yeah, my hair's been looking great recently. Thank you very much.
And Joe Bridges says it's weird that the president biopic movies keep getting made when only the popular president movies have been mostly about JFK or All the President's Men, which is mostly about the journalism. Yeah, I mean, I think presidents are fascinating figures in general, whether or not they're good or bad.
Didn't Daniel
whatever.
Day-Lewis play Lincoln?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was considered like popular or whatever.
No, it wasn't. I remember it being not that popular.
Heather says that's absolutely a compliment. I thought it last week when I was out in the wild. She's thinking about you. Post, not even during the live stream.
Oh,
See, that's Tyler's fan club right there.
there we go.
What should they call you? What should you call your fan club?
The
The Noe Nuggets.
Ew.
No.
Ty-
Please no.
Team Tyler.
Yeah, Team
I
Tyler.
mean, that seems a little on the nose.
Yeah,
do you
or
think?
the Tyler Union.
The Tyler Union. I don't know.
That's a little bit of a ripoff. I
Yeah,
know.
that's a bad one.
Yeah, that's a bit of. Yeah, thank you.
Chat, think amongst yourself. Heather says she's gonna have a shirt made. Heather, if you have an idea for a shirt, send it to me on Twitter, and we'll put it in the store.
Awesome, awesome.
So yeah, that's it. I just thought it was a kind of a funny story,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the movie
it's
is-
very punk rock.
and the movie's interesting just because it's. I have a hard time believing they're going to be able to get away with this and not get sued.
I mean, like, what? How would they get sued though? It's
Implying that someone who's still living was a rapist without any particular knowledge
it's not
about
implied. It's in court documents.
it. If they use a particular incident that's in court documents, perhaps.
I
I
mean-
don't know enough about it to know for sure.
They could, I guess, they could get sued if they're like using actual names. They could have gone the way of.
It's a Trump biopic.
Well, I know, but I'm thinking about.
Tyloids.
That sounds like that's like typhoid.
Yeah. Tyloid fever.
Tyloid fever.
I got the fever.
Yeah.
My prescription is more Tyler.
I had a bad sauerkraut sandwich and I had to take a couple of Tyloids to calm my stomach down.
Yeah,
Tyloids.
Yeah, that's a good. That's
I'm
a good.
suffering from a bad
that's
case of tyloids.
Yeah, that's a good medication name.
It's like hemorrhoids, but worse.
Yeah. No, I was thinking more in the vein of Gus Van Sant's movie about Kurt Cobain, Last Days, where they don't say his name, but like you can imply that it's
he's
know,
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, you can imply,
I'm pretty sure-
not imply, infer that.
I'm
it's
pretty
Kurt.
sure that they're using the real names in this because
Okay, so
what's his name is playing Roy Cohn.
Okay.
Jeremy Strong is playing from.
I'm not Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I'm Thomas Trump.
I'm Donald Trump.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, they're probably gonna have to suffer some legal struggles for the release of this movie, which probably will hinder its popularity. Like it'll be buried, and I don't know. I think it's I think it's too soon to do something like that as well.
There was a Trump movie made. With Brendan
was?
Gleeson.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was a movie, or maybe it was like a trailer for a movie. There was a Brendan Gleeson movie where Brendan Gleeson played Trump.
Oh, interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just it's too soon. It's too soon because he might be.
He just got sentenced, man. Give the man a break.
yeah.
Well, not sentenced. He was found guilty.
Yeah, he's actually convicted.
It's
Yeah.
like come on, like he just got convicted.
You
Like,
remember when you were kids and someone's like, you know, if you get caught stealing, you'll never be able to be president.
No!
Dang it!
This guy's got 34 felonies.
I knew I
His
should
chief of
have.
staffer is a felon. Everybody surrounds himself as a felon.
Yeah.
People are still voting for this fucking guy.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't get it.
You're telling me I
don't get
can't
it
be
either.
president because I stole gummy bears from a Blockbuster?
Nope, can't do it.
It's like, God damn it! I
No, you
shouldn't have
can't be
taken
president.
those sour Skittles.
You can't be president because you weren't born in America, Joseph.
Oh, that's right. I wasn't born in
Yeah.
America. I forgot.
That's right. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be president.
No,
Roseville's
but
not America.
Nope.
no. But the
Roseville is.
But the reason why I think it's too soon is because I feel like it should have been. I feel like the story should be marinated on and like stew a little bit. And
Nah, fuck him.
yeah,
We can make a second one.
and maybe he doesn't even need a platform in that kind of vein.
How
like,
mu- how-
How is it a platform?
because it just it'll rile up the right wing.
You think?
And then everyone will be frothing at the mouth, oh my God, this is just left wing media. Like I think you can do it in a way where it's effective, but it has to be more into the future. Like, well, now I feel like my opinion doesn't matter.
You think that after World War II and after Hitler killed himself, people were like, "We would make a movie now." It's
Yeah.
waited like 10 years, at least. He just died.
Have an IMDb page.
You know,
Yeah, I don't know. It's like for at least for my opinion, I think that as far as Trump goes, one, Tim Heidecker is the perfect choice to play Trump. Like Tim
Heidecker is losing me over the years. He's turning into a real dickhead.
yeah, kind of. I agree with that. But
He's
he would-
basically, he probably goes golfing with Trump.
no.
Yeah.
No. I don't. What makes you assume that? What makes you?
Anyways, that's my story, Joseph.
wait, no, it's Tyler's.
Yeah, that's my.
You're running the show. I'm just throwing to you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I am running the show.
All right.
That's right. All right, we're gonna turn Taz's camera off, mute his mic, and is that it? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, cool. Tyler.
All right. So I came across this story on slashfilm.com, and it was Bill Paxton, rest in peace, his soul. He came out in a 2012 quote unquote random roles interview with the AV Club's Will Harris. Paxton, who died unexpectedly 5 years later of a stroke at the age of 61, revealed that he would have loved to direct a second Twister. And if anyone doesn't know, we are getting a sequel to Twister called Twisters.
Yeah. Just
I hate that name, but
wait. So, but don't you love aliens?
yeah, but that makes sense. Twisters.
Twisters make sense too because there's more than one.
Yeah.
Why does Alien and Aliens work, but Twister and Twisters doesn't?
I don't know. It just
You just want to
rubs-
be
it-
mad. You just want to be
No,
mad.
it rubs me off the wrong way.
Rubs you off, but it still rubs you off.
I don't think there's a wrong way to be rubbed off.
Yeah, we got there in the end.
Yeah. And that's what really matters.
Well, revealed that he would have loved to direct a second Twister, one that give a viewers a wilder, more visually immersive ride. He goes on to saying, "I've always felt like there was a Jaws version of that movie," says Paxton. "I've always felt like we did the Pepsi Light version of that movie."
Huh.
How could a
Pepsi Light.
How could a caffeinated Paxton take on Twister play out? Here's what he told Harris. "There's a tougher version of that movie that I think now I've kind of designed it so that me and Helen Hunt would have a daughter, a junior in high school, but she's already dating a guy in college." That was kind of suspect. "And we'd kind of hand it off to them. There's a great story of the tri-state tornado I'd like to tie into it as well." So if you don't know about the tri-state tornado, that happened in 1925, and it went through 3 states, and it was huge.
That's a name I'd fly.
Hence the name tri-state. But the
Have you seen? When's the last time you watched Twister?
oh man,
How much long ago? How long ago?
I haven't seen Twister.
decades.
Really? Oh, it's fun.
It had to been it had to been a decade.
I watched it on VHS a little while ago, a couple years back.
Does it still hold up?
Oh, it's great. Yeah. And there is a slight implication that the Twister that killed Helen Hunt's dad is the same Twister they're chasing. So it is kind of like a Jaws.
And so that's
How is that possible?
That's what
It's not, but
it's a
they're
never-ending Twister.
It's back.
Yeah, it's back.
I mean, El Nino is all around all the time.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just somewhere in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it was really interesting that Bill Paxton was so passionate about the story of Twister, and that he saw like a vision of a Jaws-like entity, I would guess you could say, describe it as.
I just think it's weird that they don't acknowledge that they kind of did that in the first one.
Well, yeah, but I think he was trying to go more for like the mood of Jaws, like, because Bill Paxton would be like, he would do like the whole thing, like the scratch, like in the
What?
in the diner
On the table.
Oh, like he's
chalkboard.
the captain of the
yeah,
boat.
he's the captain. He's just like, I've seen that monster before.
Looking into its cold, dead black eyes like a doll's eye.
Yeah.
in the eye of the storm.
I'll kill it for you.
In that same
Kill
vein,
that Twister.
But what really like threw me off with this quote was that he had his this junior high daughter dating a college student. Like that threw me off, because when I was reading the story, I was like, huh? What?
He's
It's-
just giving an homage to Spielberg and Lucas.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going at. I won't do the movie unless she's 11 years old and he's 30. It's like, what?
Interesting.
What are you talking about?
mental? Get some help.
We got the same idea.
But so yeah, that kind of threw me off for a little bit, but it got me a little bit curious on how he would direct that movie. Now, there's no details in the article how, like, what the story would be. It was just that he expressed interest, that he wanted to do it, and then he had a stroke and he stroked out and died. So
Tyler, put that away.
nah,
You're very interested in those junior high student.
yeah, I don't know. Oh, what? What?
Consider me aroused.
No, you shut up.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
But yeah, rest in peace, Bill Paxton. But it also like kind of reinvigorated my interest in the new Twister movie that's going to come out.
Terrible name though.
Twisters, yeah, no. It should have been called. I was thinking about what could you call a Twister sequel?
Twister. There's more.
I was
Twister 2, Back with a Vengeance.
I was gonna say like just go like hammy, like Twister, like the Dark Cloud or something like that, like like Twister colon
Twister
something
Vortex.
Twister.
No, I got it right here. Twister 2, Enter the Suck Zone.
Jesus.
That's a quote from the first one.
I mean,
Sucks.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's character.
oh yeah, that's
He's
right,
explaining
I
it
forgot.
to Paxton's new wife.
Yeah,
And he's like, there's an area called the Suck Zone.
I completely forgot about
Welcome
that.
to the suck zone.
Yeah, Twister 2, the Suck Zone.
And then they use
Perfect.
a bunch of like empty Pepsi cans.
And we bring Jan de Bont back to direct it.
Yeah. Oh well.
Who is directing?
Lee Isaac Chung from Minari. The guy that directed Minari.
Oh yeah, we did.
He did a story about it.
We did a story about that. Yeah.
So yeah, so it reinvigorated my excitement for a new Twister.
Twisters.
Because I mean, like it could be good. I mean, or it could be just as bad as what was that Jake Gyllenhaal and Dennis Quaid film?
Day After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Like because that movie is so bad, it's good. So this could be the same thing. Who knows?
Heather says on her T-shirt she's making for you, Tyler, put that away is going on the back. Whoa, Tyler, put that away. All right.
But yeah, that was the only news story I saw of interest.
Oh, okay. My turn then.
Yeah,
My
Joseph.
turn. So Emma Stone and Nathan Fielder are teaming up once again for an A24 Nathan Fielder directed chess movie called Checkmate.
Chess?
Chess movie.
It's called Checkmate?
It's called Checkmate.
That's a good title. I like
Is
that.
it?
Do you think they ever rub each other?
Well,
Rub each
If
other?
you watch The Curse, they do some rubbing.
Oh,
Yeah.
They have, yes.
Not too much of a spoiler alert, but in The Curse,
I just meant in their personal
Nathan
lives,
Fielder's
but-
character is a cuck.
Oh,
Yeah, it's implied heavily that he's a cuck. Mm-hmm. And there's some very uncomfortable scenes. Very uncomfortable scenes of a sexual nature.
So Emma Stone's been on like a producing streak recently, with
Yeah.
Poor Things being the biggest thing that she's produced, and she produced The Curse. Most recently, I saw the TV Glow, as well as Problemista, and then she produced.
She did Problemista too, huh?
She produced Maniac, that TV show on Netflix, Cruella as well, and then she's also producing Yorgos Lanthimos' next project, starring her as well, called Begonia.
Oh, I heard about that one. Yeah.
Cruella 2, she's producing.
They're making a sequel?
I guess so. And then 2 other projects. One's titled a TV show called Phantasmus, and another movie called Little White Corvette. I don't know if she's producing.
That's what I name my penis. Little White Corvette.
I was gonna say it's an apt name for a wang. Little Red Corvette is, well, the Prince song is supposed to be talking about a vagina. So fitting.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Did you know that, Tyler? Before I said that?
No, I did not.
Oh wow.
I'm surprised she didn't produce Kinds of Kindness.
Yeah. She didn't have time.
I guess not.
It's too fast.
Too much producing.
She has a lot of work.
I just produced this. But so this next project, directed by Nathan Fielder, about a real life chess scandal story, written by the same guy, Ben Mesrich, whose works were adapted into The Social Network and most recently Dumb Money. The story is going to center on what has been described as the biggest scandal in the history of chess.
And what's that scandal?
Following the controversial 2022, very recent, head-to-head match between grandmasters Magnus Carlsen, then world champion Magnus Carlsen, and Hans Niemann, during which the latter was accused of cheating.
Is this the one
How do
where
you cheat in chess?
I think this is the one where supposedly he had like a butt plug in with a vibration, like a vibration on it? I'm not joking. This was the
really?
This was and it would make sense that Nathan Fielder would do something that's ridiculous.
That would make sense.
It's like had a certain like Morse code in vibrations,
Oh my god.
and it would like tell him where the moves were or some shit like that.
yeah.
How does that translate? How do you even come up with that?
I don't know. I can't. I'm excited now.
They're just like,
Yeah.
like look, you're gonna have to put a butt plug in. Done and done.
His coach.
Yeah, his coach.
This is a real I, Tanya situation.
He's like, Coach, I got great news for you. I'm already one step ahead of you.
You won't believe this.
I'll be. Yeah. What a coincidence.
I got one in right now. After a competitive situation in which multiple studios and streamers showed interest in this project, A24 ultimately nabbed the rights thanks to a reported 7-figure offer.
Jesus.
Cool.
So the deals are still in the works, but Fielder is currently attached to direct with Emma Stone on board to produce with her husband and partner Dave McCrary under their.
Oh, she's married.
Yes, and they have
A sad day for Tyler.
and they have a kid.
Dang it.
Or kids, kid or kids,
They have kids.
a kid or kids.
Wow.
And they have their production studio or their producing firm, whatever is called Fruit Tree. That's the name of their. The new movie builds on Stone, Fielder, and A24's successful collaboration after The Curse, a very dark dramedy. Apparently, I have yet to see it.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
The project would also be the latest chess move for Stone's Fruit Tree, which recently set up an untitled film at Universal starring the 2-time Oscar winner and directed by McCrary, her husband. So, yeah, she's busier than ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a fan. I love her. She's very charismatic. She's sharp.
Yeah.
She puts her name on good things
Yeah. I mean,
and poor things.
Bird. I actually recently watched a clip of her in Birdman.
We watched Birdman for the show.
No, I know, but I'm saying like recently I saw a clip from Birdman where where she was talking down on Michael Keaton's character, like saying like he was nothing.
Yeah.
Like I love that scene so much.
She's good. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
sharp. Crazy. She's great in what's it called? Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh, yeah.
the one?
She's
Crazy
in
Stupid?
that with
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And I just watched Easy A this last week.
Oh, nice.
Like
Oh wow, that's our early work.
and like to think like because I saw that movie back when it came out in
Yeah.
2010. No, 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
And to think like where she started from there, and now she's like producing and starring in these.
Yeah.
Like
She's a big player in Hollywood.
expanding her movie genre.
Yeah.
Acting skills is Cool to see.
Joe Bridges says that the executive producing to get those assets for life. That's how Brad Pitt and George Clooney made their absurd amounts of money. It's surprising. Every once in a while, I'll be watching a movie and just see Brad Pitt EP pop up.
Yeah.
Like, wow, he has something to do with this movie too, huh?
Yeah.
I think he just spots good potential.
Yeah.
Throws in $500,000 into the movie, reaps the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's successful.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's all I have for news stories. I don't think there's anything else. I feel like there was, but I guess it's not that important.
Okay.
Stream pick time.
Movies.
Wanna watch a movie?
Yes, I do. Disney Plus. Oh, HBO Max.
If I don't get the pick, show's over.
I have grown accustomed to Hulu Plus.
Amazon Prime.
I like Netflix.
You found the pick.
Stream picks. Movies that we watched on our streaming services that you can watch or not watch if we don't recommend them as well. Pete,
Yes.
what do you have to stream pick?
Well, I got a few.
First of all, actually,
Yeah.
before that,
Yeah.
I already know what's going.
What's going?
I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
so I paid my dues. I
Yeah.
watched Clovage Killer. I'll get to my review when it comes around to me, but I watched it the day that we recorded.
Yeah, Joseph sent it to the group chat. And then
Yeah.
can you set up what the setup was?
Oh yeah, last week we were disparaging Tyler. I don't know.
You sure that was
Like
that
normal.
last week or was
Like,
that the week before?
like normal.
About his just like movies that he doesn't watch that we recommend, but he'll watch the Clovage Killer, who was recommended to him
By this mysterious friend.
Yeah, that.
My dear AI friend.
Yes.
You bastard.
I knew that would get you.
Chatbot's very passionate
And
about
I
anti-AI.
issued a challenge
Yeah.
for him to
Yeah.
watch at least one of our stream picks every week, and then to make it fair, I'll watch whatever he stream picks if I haven't seen it already.
And I agreed. I said anything that you've stream picked that I haven't seen, I will watch too.
Okay, and we'll get to whatever you watched.
I'm sure probably. What did you stream and pick last week, Joseph?
Mine last week?
Yeah, let's see. Let me hop on the
I don't remember.
the old internet and see here.
I stream picked a documentary. No, I didn't.
The Rental,
The Rental, yes.
Run,
Yes.
10 Things I Hate About You,
Yes.
and I think that's it. My streaming picks were Madam Web, Atlas, and Unfrosted in Fantasy Island, and The First Omen and Black Dynamite. Tyler's was The Clovage Killer.
Yes.
Okay.
So this week, you got like 5 options.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to... Spoiler. No, I didn't watch any of them.
So why am I wasting my time?
Look, when I was driving over here, like I had the shame sweats because I knew this was going to come up.
Are you sure it was the shame shirts?
Well, that too, but I had to go to the local AM/PM and quickly change. That's why I was a little bit late today.
Oh God.
No, I do feel bad about it, but I do feel bad.
But I just don't care. I just don't want to put the effort in.
No, I do care. It's just
How often do you think about this show?
every day.
But what do you besides? Let me put it this way: how often do you think about the show in terms of a producer, not a active listener?
Every day.
30 minutes before the show starts.
That's not true. No. I always,
The morning of, when you force yourself to watch the movie. You spend as little amount of time per week producing for the show.
Look, I had a tough week, and I do feel bad.
My week was super easy.
I am promising you that I will do it next week. However, I'm gonna put it on a challenge on myself. I'm gonna watch 2 of the streaming picks.
One of each of ours?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I'm gonna do
If
that.
you couldn't do the one, why are you forcing yourself to do 2?
Well,
why are you
because-
setting yourself up for failure?
I'm not setting up myself for failure. I'm giving myself a hard.
A challenge.
No, I wouldn't challenge.
I've already issued the challenge.
Yeah. Well, I'm good.
Oh, forget your challenge. I'm doing my own challenge.
Okay.
Which is exactly the same as your challenge.
Look. Like I understand the frustration and the disappointment. I understand that. It's not lost on me. And again, I came over here like with my tail in between my legs because I knew I didn't do it. So
I mean, that's all well and good, but do better. You know, it's like I acknowledge that I failed, and I'm doing actively nothing to make.
And
that
that's
better.
why I'm going to make it up.
Okay,
All right.
We'll find out next week.
You will.
Use your brain.
Joel. First off, Joel says he's not going to stand for this day after tomorrow slander. He says he loves the day after tomorrow.
I do
Actually,
too.
he says he liked it.
He's in love with it.
Oh man, and Joe Bridges says he'll fly out every week if he wants, so he could take your place. He says I have 16 shorts and 2 features from Jim Henson's to streaming pick for the week. I love it, Joe.
Fantastic.
Yeah, get your work to do like a write off. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to be in Portugal at the end of the week, end of the month.
End of this month?
End of this month, yeah. We have to
Okay.
figure out what we're going to do in that because it'll be the first official episode that I've missed.
Well, I'm going to be gone next week.
Is it next week?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Well, then what?
Joe, come, fly out, Joe. You take Joe's place. Joe for Joe. Okay, so I'll get to my streaming picks then.
Okay.
I'm going to go again. Worst to first, worst to best.
Okay.
This week,
Worst to best.
worst to best. First movie. This is called No Way Up. This is a shark movie. The plot is pretty simple. Characters from different backgrounds are thrown together when the plane that they're traveling on crashes into the Pacific Ocean. A nightmare fight for survival ensues, with the air supply running out and dangers creeping in from all sides. So this has Cole Meany is in it. He's the top rated or top like build person.
Meaning.
Yeah, you would recognize him. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's in The Rock. He's John Cusack's boss with a nice car that he fucks up. Not The Rock, Con Air. I'm sorry. And Phyllis Logan, Sophie McIntosh, Will Attenborough, which is Richard Attenborough's grandson. Jeremiah Amor, Manuel Pacific, a bunch of people that I haven't recognized. But it's kind of a low budget, kind of crappy shark movie. But this is still much, much better than most crappy shark movies that you
When
get
did it come
nowadays.
out?
This year, I believe.
Oh, this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
2024. And it's streaming right now on AMC Plus. That's where we watched it. And it's pretty good. I mean, basically, it's all set on the interior of a plane. Plane crashes. It's nose down like the Titanic. And then at one point, the nose breaks off. And they're caught in this air bubble in the back of the plane. And it's like the main girl and her friend and she's like the daughter of a senator or some shit. So they have people that are going to go like find them because the plane crashes. And there's a fair amount of shark kills in this shark movie. So it works.
Okay.
But it does take a little while to get there because they have to set up the characters. They all have to get on a plane together, and then the plane has to crash. And then all of a sudden there's sharks.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a delay at the beginning, but once the shark kills start going, they're pretty good and they're pretty brutal too. So I liked that one well enough, probably 2.5 stars maybe, where most like crappy shark movies are like 1.5 maybe.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that came out last year were really bad.
Not a good movie not a good year for shark movies.
Last year, no.
Yeah.
This year we got more. So No Way Up is one. The next one is streaming on Netflix right now, Under Paris, which you watched too, Joseph, right?
Yes.
Maybe jump in with me on this one. So I think that this one is a lot of fun. This is way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a really crappy CGI shark movie that is
Oh wait, this is another shark movie?
shark movie, yeah.
Under Paris?
Under Paris. The plot of Under Paris. In the summer of 2024, Paris is hosting the World Triathlon Championships on the Seine for the first time. Sophia, a brilliant scientist, learns from Mika, a young environmental activist, that a large shark is swimming deep in the river. To avoid a bloodbath at the heart of the city, they have no choice but to join forces with Adil, the Seine River police commander. So the long and short of it is that the very beginning of the movie, it's paced really well because at the beginning of the movie they show these research scientists out at the trash island in the middle of the Pacific or whatever. Yeah. I guess it might
Atlantic.
I might be the Atlantic, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're out the trash pile and they're filming sharks, and one of the sharks turns out to be this giant monstrous shark, and they're like, well, how did she get so big? We've been tracking her, and 2 months ago she was half the size, and blah blah blah. And you find out later why. But there's a massacre there. Almost no one left but the main character woman, this research scientist. And then flash forward an unknown number of years, and she's in Paris, and they have the beacon from their research that pops up, and they're like, "There's no way that's Lilith." The shark's name is Lilith.
Oh, fitting.
There's no way it's Lilith.
Fitting.
And why is that fitting?
Well, because Lilith is it's a significant name in biblical history.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is
But I don't see the connection.
what is the connection though?
Because she's a killer.
Is Lilith a killer in the Bible?
Yeah.
Who'd she kill?
I mean, I don't know.
I think she was killed.
No, she's just basically like an evil person.
Is she?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Mary Magdalene is Lilith.
Oh. Well. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
This is not.
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
We're not bibliophiles here.
Why don't you stop talking for a while?
All right.
All right. So, anyways, flash forward. They're now in modern day, and they're getting ready to do a triathlon. If you might imagine, if you know how triathlons work, it's a run, it's a bike, and it's a swim.
Right.
And they're starting with the swim on this one.
Yep.
I don't know if that's how they all start or not. I'm not familiar with triathlons, but they're all getting ready to release all these swimmers into this giant river that runs right through the middle of Paris. And days before that, they find out that this shark is it's almost like Infested, that spider movie, where they have babies really fast.
Yeah.
Like within weeks, they're having more babies. And I'm not going to get into too much of the spoilers because there's some fun reveals, but there was one shark. Now there's more sharks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, this is a pretty fucking fun shark movie.
Okay.
Not as good as Deep Blue Sea. I think maybe on par with, maybe slightly less fun than The Meg. Definitely less polished than The Meg. You know, the CGI cracks are showing a little bit for the lower budget nature of it.
Right.
But I didn't care. You know, none of it took me out of it and was like, oh, that was really lame. It was like, there's no shortage of kills. There's a number of people ripped in half. There's a lot of people losing limbs. And the whole thing, the funny thing about this is all you have to do is don't go in the water.
Right.
Just don't go in the water.
That's all you have to do.
And there's people that have to be in the water for the triathlon.
Yeah.
But then there's these activists that are just falling into the water fucking constantly.
Yeah, they're
constantly slipping and falling in the water.
Oh God.
And there's a homeless guy with his dog that he was on land and then the next second he's dead and they're like, how did he die? Oh, he's been in half. Why did he go in the river?
Yeah.
And then, So what do you think?
I will agree. This was probably like one of the best shark movies in terms of like entertainment values.
Yeah.
Since Deep Blue Sea.
I agree with that.
Like it was shocking in moments. There were moments where I found myself going like, holy shit.
I know. I screamed out loud a number of times.
And I was like, oh God. And the kills, there's one kill in particular that is very, very, very much reminded me of Sam Jackson's death in Deep Blue Sea. I was like, wait, I was expecting it, but it still surprised me.
Yeah.
Because there's like a build up to it, and it's like the first major like massacre of the movie, and it's gnarly.
Yeah.
It's produced well, and there's a little bit of I guess cheapness to it in terms of like the CGI quality, but for the most part they do a good job. There's like these cool slow motion sequences they do a couple times. One in the very beginning, and when she's almost like dragged down with the shark in the very beginning, and you see her ears pop and
the pressure burst,
and it's like how is she gonna get back up in time to like not drown? And there's like this really almost like kind of Snyder-esque slow-mo shot of her like breaching out of the water. That's really well done. And then there's another one later in the movie with like the swimmers in the triathlon. But yeah, it was very entertaining, and I didn't expect to be enjoy it that much.
Me neither.
Like especially because I also watched No Way Up, and that was very not good.
No. I'm probably a little more generous on it. I gave it 2.5 stars, probably just because of the bias for how bad the other shark movies are. Some of those shark movies are like 1 star, half-star movies.
Yeah.
But this is a 3.5 star movie.
It was but yeah, it was super fun.
With a heart.
It was a fun time. It was a fun movie to watch. And
camera movements were better than they needed to be too, I think.
I was like, but by the end of it, I don't want to give anything away, but the end, I was like,
I don't.
What?
It didn't make any sense, to be honest.
I was like, a shark did this? Sharks did this?
I just don't understand where the water came from.
That's what I thought.
I'm
too.
like, there's enough water.
What is that, ocean? Is that,
Yeah.
they break a dam?
There's a new ocean. They unleashed a new ocean under the water. It made no sense. But still,
it like set it up for Under Paris 2.
no, under Venice.
Under Venice.
It's gonna be under Tokyo.
Because like it was the way it ends, it's just like, oh, that's kind of bleak.
Yeah,
Because it makes you think like there's gonna be a direct continuation of this movie.
yeah.
But then it's like, no, that's it for now, at least. But yeah, it was yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think this is an easy recommend to just about anybody.
Yeah.
And I actually have a review from the Maple Syrup Don from Saskatchewan, listener Steven. Okay. He says, "Lay boys." So I watched Under the Paris. I'm deathly afraid of sharks, so I truly enjoy torturing myself with these kind of movies. One jump scare had me jump about a foot off the couch from a sitting position, yelling and swearing. I've never been that scared in my life from a jump scare ever. My parents had a real good laugh. Overall, the movie was fun, and if it happened, it would be the scariest thing ever. And I would have to move to the mountains somewhere as high as I could to get away from any body of water. The acting was solid. The plot was cool and engaging enough. The effects were a bit wonky at times, but it managed to keep a steady line of tension when dealing with any of the water scenes. The characters kind of sucked, and I was rooting for the sharks most of the time. Agree. The humans were a bit fucking dumb, actually.
Yeah.
Besides that, the only real nitpicks are the overuse of the diver facing the screen and the murky backdrop where the shark might be. It was done probably like 5 times, a little too much. And the constant yelling, "Adil, Adil, Adil." P.S. Oh, this is in French too, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And since he's French-Canadian, he says, Quebec French isn't nice as Parisian or French in general in Canada. Quebecian is something else. Quebecois.
Quebecois.
Quebecois is something else.
Sounds so romantic.
3 out of 5, the Maple Syrup Don.
Oh.
Yeah, I give it a little higher. I give it about a 3.5, but
Yeah.
it could easily be a 2.5 or a 3 or 3.5. But as the boys on Cinematics like to say, this is a 3-star banger. You know what you're getting yourself into. For this type of movie, it's about as good as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3-star banger for Under Paris for about 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
Next best one, Book of Clarence. Oh, yeah, and Under Paris is streaming on Netflix. Tyler, I'm going to have to take that pen away from you.
I'm not going to
Last week, the same exact thing happened.
I'm not going to pick it up. Yeah. I already.
I've been watching you spin that thing the whole time, just waiting for you to stop.
Yeah.
Do you want me to get you a snack?
No, it's okay. Okay. Actually, I would like a snack. but-
Okay. Well, we have a break coming up soon.
snack? Some orange slices.
Yeah. So Under Paris is streaming on Netflix. Also streaming on Netflix, The Book of Clarence, and this is a really fun one that I've been looking to for a while. It's directed by what's his name? Is it James Samuels? Yeah, James Samuel. He's the writer-director of Harder They Fall, which is so fucking good. I love The Harder They Fall.
Wait a minute, Pete. I'm looking at the chat right now. Shinneman says Tyler's planning to do better, and you said no?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Well, he's planning on it. Whether he will or not, that's a different story. So Book of Clarence. This is a kind of a reimagining of a biblical tale. Have you guys seen The Harder They Fall?
No.
Harder They Fall. That's
It's a Western.
It's like basically a black-led Western movie. You know, it's
I've heard of it before, but I don't.
It's on Netflix.
Regina King, Lakeith Stanfield,
It sounds familiar, but I can't say I've seen it.
Io Edebiri, R.J. Seiler,
Isn't Idris Elba in it?
Idris Elba, yeah. And a lot of the same people are in this movie, and same writer director. And the Samuel also did the music for Book of Clarence.
Oh.
I don't know if he did the music for Harder They Fall, but I fucking loved Harder They Fall. This is not quite as good. It is interesting though. So the idea is Clarence is a living on the streets of Jerusalem, and he's a kind of streetwise sort of kind of a ne'er-do-well. Doesn't believe in God. Jesus is a character in the movie. He's like running around with his apostles, and Clarence's twin brother is one of the apostles. And so he's constantly talking with his brother about, I can't believe you believe this shit. He says he's the son of God. I don't even believe in a God. How can you believe in this stuff? Blah, blah, blah. And like, he believes that Jesus is doing tricks. Mary Magdalene is there. Joseph is there. At one point, he decides he owes a bunch of money to basically like a Jabba the Hutt type character, like a bad dude in town that everybody knows. And he says, if you don't pay me in 30 days, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to kill your friend. So he decides to make money. He's going to become a prophet himself. And he's like, Jesus does it. It couldn't be that hard.
Right.
So he starts proselytizing, and he starts doing miracles, tricks, what he calls them.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is about it is like, he's clearly faking it, but then he does some things that are very heroic. Like he frees one of the slaves. There's a guy that has a bunch of slaves and fights them like gladiators.
Yeah.
And he frees one of the slaves, and he does it 100% off of his like balls and his like, gumption.
Yeah.
No tricks, no nothing. He just does it.
Yeah.
And people are like, wow, he freed the slaves. Oh, wow, he did it. And then the next scene, he's faking a resurrection with one of his friends. Oh. And then everybody gives him all these shekels. And he's able to pay off his debt, but he decides to just keep being a prophet,
Double down.
Yeah. And then, what's his name? James McAvoy is Pontius Pilate in this. and he rounds up all these people that call themselves prophets. And all of a sudden now Clarence doesn't want to be a prophet because he gets rounded up with Jesus. And it's really, really interesting. It's really interesting.
It's an interesting plot point where it's a twin brother that's following Jesus. And
the twin part doesn't really factor into it too much.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
His brother is one of the disciples.
Yeah, disciple.
At some point, he asked him, "Can I be your 13th disciple or apostle or whatever?" And he's like, "No, we're not going to do that because we know you don't believe." So he just like, fuck this. I'm going to go make my own religion.
It's so interesting to think about like Jesus as a figure in our modern.
He was a real person.
Yeah, I understand that. I wasn't saying he wasn't. I'm just saying in a modern setting, you would see someone saying, "Oh, I'm Jesus," and no one would give a good goddamn. Like they would be like, "Yeah, fuck you."
Well, you think that, but people get led into
that's a Jew.
People get led into cults all the time.
That's true.
People want to believe.
I actually
in something.
I delivered a package to a cult before.
Oh, cool.
How do you know?
Oh yeah, you can tell.
You were like Hank Hill pulling up. Is this the cult?
Was it a tent? Was it a?
It was like a compound.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was very
They're all
interesting.
wearing like very similar clothing.
People want to believe in something. That's why the Juggalos exist. So,
But
That's how we got Juggalos. Yes.
yeah. So, Book of Clarence, I recommend it. Again, not the greatest. It's like almost a 4-star movie, but not quite. I think I might go up on a rewatch. But Benedict Cumberbatch has a really small part in it, and his arc is really interesting and fucking hilarious.
Does he play Judas?
I cannot say.
I knew it.
Cannot say.
He does.
No, there's Black Judas in this.
There's a black Judas.
Yeah, almost like 95% of the cast is black in this.
Oh, interesting.
It's a great reimagining, of the whole thing, and it's really, really fun. So I would strongly recommend watching the Book of Clarence, whether or not you have a religious background or not. If you do, I think you would have an interesting perspective on it all.
Yeah.
But
Is it blasphemous?
oh yeah,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is about it is that Jesus, the real Jesus in the movie, is doing legitimate miracles the whole time. So it's almost like
he's doing magic.
But he's doing real miracles, but Clarence says they're tricks. And when he goes to learn from Mary Magdalene or Mother Mary how her son does these tricks, she's like, they're not tricks. You
Is
just
Lilith involved?
No, Mary is Jesus's lover.
Virgin Mary, not Mary Magdalene. I'm sorry.
He got with a woman who's the same name as his mom.
That is a little weird.
Yeah.
If I started dating a girl named Laura, I'd be like, or Jessica, my sister's name.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I could do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do comment on the Immaculate Conception though, and they give a reason behind it.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of interesting.
Joseph's like, what happened?
No, they basically say virgin is the translation error. Essentially, they're like what you call a virgin is not what I call a virgin.
Oh, I see.
I'm not saying that I had never had sex before, but we just weren't married when it happened.
So it doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so and then The Harder They Fall is also on Netflix. I talked about that on the show already a long time ago. I rewatched it again after that. I got the itch as soon as I finished Book of Clarence. Oh, it's so fucking good. One of the coolest movies in the last 10 years.
Coolest.
So cool. It's like, it's badass. Of all the recommendations, I don't know, the next one's really good. I'd almost say, Tyler, you should probably watch The Harder They Fall. But my real top streaming pick for the week is American Fiction, which just hit Amazon Prime. And this is starring Jeffrey Wright. He's another fantastic actor who's just a chameleon. He pops up all over the place. He's in the James Bond franchise. He played Basquiat a long time ago in the Basquiat movie.
It's in Last of Us 2.
Is he really?
Yeah. He's like the leader of the whatever Abby's part of. The Wolves.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that was him.
He's reprising his role
For the show?
for Last of Us 2, season 2.
No shit.
Yeah.
He's in the Batman. He's Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
Batman's Batman, Asteroid City, the Hunger Games series from number 2 on. He's in Game Night, Casino Royale, French Dispatch. He just recently got into Wes Anderson's sort of circle of friends or whatever.
His current roster.
Yeah, his current roster. But this also has John Ortiz in it, Erica Alexander, Leslie Uggams, Sterling K. Brown, John Ailes, Patrick Fischler, a lot of people you'd recognize, and everybody's firing on all cylinders. This movie is so fucking well acted. It is so well written, and this is
It won an Academy Award, right?
I think so. I'm not
Or
sure.
adapted screenplay or something.
Let's see.
Because
Nominated for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I know it had a couple of nominations. Let's see here. Awards. It did win one Oscar.
It did win one.
It won one. It did win one. So here's the synopsis from Just Watch. Thelonious Monk Ellison his writing career stalled because his work wasn't deemed black enough. Monk, a writer and English professor, writes a satirical novel under a pseudonym, aiming to expose the publishing world's hypocrisies. The book's immediate success forces him to get deeper enmeshed in his assumed identity and challenges his closely held worldviews. So basically, he's a very highfalutin, very intelligent author, and he doesn't write about the black experience. He just writes a novel not from the perspective of a black author, just from an author.
Yeah.
And he feels it pandering it to basically say, oh, I'm a black author, so I have to write about black things. That's basically the emphasis of his character. He's also like a professor or something like that. And one of his compatriots, one of his contemporaries, releases a book that's basically written in Ebonics. It's like, it's called like, We's Got the Struggles or something like that. And the whole thing, like, and she's an accomplished, very well-spoken, very intelligent young black author. And he's at a conference, like a literary conference, and she's the main stage, and he walks in on her doing a reading of her book, and she goes from this very intelligent speech to, and like very well-spoken to, like basically gutter slang.
Yeah.
And like almost like borderline, like slave era, mammy sort of stuff,
Sure.
And it's like very pandering and the way it's written, it's just like, it's designed for white guiltists to eat it up.
And so is it like he's offended by that?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, why is she getting all this acclaim for this when my books are well written and well thought out and well researched and they're very interesting? And there's like one scene when he goes to the bookstore and he asks for books by him. He says, is there any Thelonious Ellison, books? And they're like, oh yeah, sure, right over here. And he leads him to like the Black Voices section. And he goes, why are they here? Why are they in this section?
Yeah.
They're not, this isn't a black book just because I'm a black author. And the guy goes, oh, you wrote these? Oh, very nice to meet you.
Like, yeah, I did.
And then he's like, I'm gonna move him to this section. And the guy's like, this is a corporation. I don't make a decision on where they go, sir.
That's a really interesting concept.
It's very interesting, and it there's a whole like personal life growth that happens, and there's some trauma that happens in his life very early on in the movie, and he's kind of forced to, and he basically at some point out of desperation, he does almost like a fuck you to the system, and he writes this book called what's it called? It's called like I can't remember the name of it now. It's called Live in the Now. Let's see, American Fiction book title. I can't remember it now, but it's like it's based off of the whole movie is based off of a book called Erasure. Erasure.
Erasure.
Erasure. Erasure.
Erasure.
But anyways, he makes this a book that's very similar to this other woman's style of writing. You know, dumbs it down, talks in this like very, you know, quote unquote non-educated black speak, so on and so forth. And he writes
like
about
a stereotype.
like the stereotype. Yeah, exactly. And it's all about how, you know, this guy is meeting his father and he has to shoot his father and kill him, and he lives on the streets, and he writes it under a pseudonym, and he makes his publisher send it in, and basically like he's like, I don't want to submit this. And he's like, just do it. It's a fuck you to the system. And everybody fucking loves it. It blows up. It becomes like the top best-selling book or whatever. So since he's famous now, he needs to appear on these talk shows or whatever and talk to publishers as this pseudonym, and they just get deeper and deeper. They're like, oh, by the way, he's a fugitive. That's why he doesn't like to come in. You know, that's why we can't show your face or whatever. And Adam Brody plays a Hollywood producer that wants to adapt the rights to the book before the book has even been released, and it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And that
sounds very compelling.
That's the main story, but the majority of the story is him wrestling with his personal life. And he's got Sterling K. Brown as his brother, who's recently has come out as gay because his wife walked in on him having an affair with a man, and it blew up his whole life.
Oh, jeez.
And there's this whole thing, like this interesting corollary about denying who you are and being ashamed of who you are. And it's like the parallel between his brother's life and him writing this Fakakta book. Yeah. And it's really, really interesting. And
he wrote it just so that he would get money.
No, he didn't even want it to be successful. When it blew up, he was pissed off that because he's like, all these books that I tried really hard on are getting nowhere.
It's like, I can do this.
Book I wrote in one night.
He like wrote it in spite.
He wrote it
in spite.
Yeah, and he's getting millions for like movie deals and stuff, and he's like, people are asking where he's getting all this money, and he's like, fuck off, you know, mind your business. And it's a really, really interesting, and the ending, as it gets close to the end, I'm like, how is this going to end? Is he going to come clean? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? And the way they do the ending is very, 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 very well done. So this is American Fiction is streaming on Amazon Prime. It got all this buzz last year. It's on my like missed list of movies from 2023, and it's all the buzz is well deserved. No notes, damn near perfect movie. Fucking love it.
This director's first movie.
Really? Interesting.
He's written a bunch of stuff.
Oh, okay.
But this is his first directing.
Cord Jefferson is his name.
Yeah, he wrote for the Watchmen series, The Good Place, Master of None.
Cool.
And
I love this.
Some other stuff. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times, like black cinema is like a blind spot for me, you know. And I feel like this is a really interesting perspective on it because it's a black voice talking about stereotypical black voices and just the kind of deconstruction of that.
Yeah, just like wrestling.
Really, really interesting. So highly recommend that. Hard for me to say which one's better to watch, this or The Harder They Fall, because this is a better movie, but The Harder They Fall is a much more fun movie. And this is American Fiction is hilarious as well. Yeah. So that's it.
Tyler.
Yes.
Okay. What are you gonna stream pick this week?
Okay.
Is this another recommendation from your other friend that you watched?
Oh, my dear AI friend?
Yes.
No. I just want to preface this before I get into it because I think what I'm about to recommend feels like very no, that's a book. What I'm about to recommend feels like a short movie. Like when I was watching it, it felt like a short movie.
Okay.
It does come from a TV show though.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm talking about True Detectives. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He's like, oh my God, please don't cancel me.
So I watched the first episode of Fallout on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And so the reason why I'm picking this, I know it's not a movie, but it felt like a movie. And it felt like I haven't watched any of the other episodes, but after I watched the first episode, I was thinking there's not really any need to continue. Like it was a really self-contained story. I thought it was really great.
Are you saying after the first one, you're never going to watch the other ones?
Well, I'm going to eventually. However, I'm recommending.
So your streaming pick is one single episode of a show.
Correct, but I mean it's like an hour and 15 minutes long, so
Okay.
it feels like a movie. So if anyone isn't familiar with the Fallout video game series, it's about typically it's about a vault dweller going out into the wildlands of a post-apocalyptic.
Why are they living in a vault?
Well, because there was a nuclear catastrophe that happened
A fallout of sorts.
Yeah, exactly. So I was very apprehensive about going into this show because
Even after we stream picked it?
After we both talked about it glowingly on the show and said it was a great adaptation, especially for fans.
Okay, yeah, I guess you could say that.
I don't know. I wasn't it.
No. Yeah, probably true. I have a attention span of a goldfish, but yeah, I thought when I watched the first episode, and I was apprehensive going into it because I was thinking to myself, and I know you guys glowingly reviewed it.
Do you know that?
Yes.
Do you know that before Joseph just said that?
Yes.
Okay.
I did. Actually, no, I didn't. I'm just kidding. I was apprehensive going into it though because I was thinking to myself, how can you adapt a game like Fallout and translate it into television? But I took the plunge. I was like, I took the day off, and I was like,
To watch one episode.
I took the day off to watch a single episode of this fucking show.
And not neither of our stream picks.
well, I was napping for most of the day, so yes, I was.
I'm not debating that. I'm just ashamed of you.
That's fine. That's fine. So, but the reason why I'm streaming picking this is because this is after I watched the first episode, I was thinking to myself, man, like I feel like I don't even have to watch another episode. Like this was just like a perfectly good self-contained, like it's not a short film because it's over an hour, but it felt like a short film. And I thought the acting was really well done. And the story was really well done as well. Like it really kept you on your feet. And especially towards the end with who's that actor's name?
Kyle MacLachlan.
Yes. Yeah, Walton Goggins.
Oh, Walton Goggins.
Yeah, Walton.
Yeah, yes.
No, sorry, I misheard you. Walton Goggins was just so incredible in this. Even though he only appears he appears in the beginning and then he appears in the end. And I thought the beginning was really well done. The graphics and set design just felt very authentic. And the story of how the main girl, Lucy, getting out of the vault. Because if you are familiar with the Fallout games, you know, like, someone's getting out of the vault. They're going into someone's getting out of the vault. Like, it's not going to be self-contained.
It's not going to be completely contained within one single vault.
You already know, because if you play the games, you know, like, someone's getting out and they're going to go on an adventure. So
if you've ever played the Mario Brothers games, you know the
Bowser's,
game doesn't end at level 1. 1 to 1. The next one, guess what? 1-2.
Yeah, Bowser's getting thrown into pits of flames.
Yeah,
but yeah, I thought the cinematography was really great. It was kind of the twist in the first episode was really well done as well. I think was it the brother who finds out that
don't do a twist. Don't give a twist.
Why?
Because you don't want to spoil the.
It's been out. It's been out.
It doesn't matter.
People can check it out.
Yeah, they can. You don't have to
don't spoil it.
All right. Well, fine. The twist was really well done. I thought the arranged marriage scenario was kind of creepy in how everyone was accepting of it.
I think that might be the idea.
Yeah, they kind of have to do that down there.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
the idea is that it is creepy.
And also, like the whole like cousin fucking thing was
again. That's how it's supposed to be perceived.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was very well done, and so that's streaming on Amazon Prime. Go check that out. And that again, all I'm saying is because the first episode felt like a movie that I didn't feel like I had to check out the second episode. It doesn't
But
leave.
will you? Are you going to watch more
He
of it?
has to take another day off to watch the second.
No, I am. No, I am going to check it out. It just I was thinking to myself after it ended because it doesn't leave on a cliffhanger. Essentially, like it's not.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
Not really.
It's a great, I mean, it is a great, like
if
pilot.
I mean, like if you didn't have any other episodes proceeding after episode 1, like would you guys be satisfied with what you just saw?
I mean, I would want more.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, like for myself,
If you're really that satisfied, don't watch the rest of the series.
well, no, I mean because I know there's new episodes. Like, I'm going to watch it, but I was thinking to myself after I watched it, I was like, you know what? Like, if they didn't even have like another single episode of this show, like I would have been okay with it. I would have been like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite Fellowship of the Rings where you get to the end and you're like, I feel like I'm very satisfied. That one movie in itself is self-contained, but they didn't get to Mordor. You know, there's so much more. Like, there's so much more of the Fallout story that you're going to unlock. And it's a great series. I can't wait for you to finish it.
Yeah. So, that's the only reason why streaming picked it because I just thought it was like it could have been a movie. Like it just didn't.
Also, there was nothing else you watched this week besides True Detective
In the one episode.
in the one episode of Fallout.
Yeah.
Correct.
Heather says, I'm taking a day off. An entire day off to watch one thing is an incredibly Tyler thing to do. And you need to stop being jealous. Stop hating the player. Feel free to hate the game, though.
Wait, what?
I do hate the game, but not the player. I love Tyler, but it's his life is an enigma.
It's not you that I hate. It's the things that you do and say.
It's the choices you make on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Well, you know.
And which makes the vessel that which makes those choices is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Is
I feel like I did watch something else, but it's lost on me. It's lost on me right now.
Write it down. There's an app that you have downloaded on your phone.
I know. All right. Well, anyways, that's all I got.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I already watched Fallout and the whole thing, so I'm not gonna. I'll have to go back and watch something else.
Well, that's the great thing about this deal you made is the stuff that Tyler's gonna bring into the show for streaming picks.
I watched.
Either you probably mostly seen them already.
Fear and Loathing. I haven't seen that.
You haven't?
Okay, I haven't either. I'll watch that too. Yeah. I don't think it's streaming anywhere though.
No, I think you have to rent it.
No, wait. Didn't we reveal that it was streaming? And he was like, "Damn it!"
No, that was something else.
No, it was. Fuck. What was
That was
it?
the movie you watched last week.
Yeah.
It was
What was
the one your streaming pick.
My stream pick?
Yeah, the one that you watched of Tyler.
Oh, Clovehitch Killer.
Oh,
he,
that. Yeah,
he
yeah,
rented
yeah,
it and it was on like 5 streaming services.
It's
Oh,
on,
I was like, God damn it.
yeah, it's on Hulu.
Damn.
Oh no, it's on Netflix actually.
It's on like 4 of them.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Fear and Loathing not streaming anywhere for free.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll watch something else then. I'll find something.
And I would go back 6 weeks worth.
Yeah. Okay. My turn.
Yeah.
I'll go from worst to best as well.
Oh, cool.
The worst I watched Pete's streaming pick.
Oh, cool.
Madam Web.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. This was not a good movie. And I kind of thought that it was supposed to be a comedy based on some of the writing and how some of the actors, specifically Dakota Johnson, and how she was delivering the lines. Because it felt like she was trying to be funny the whole time. Like
clever.
I'm
clever.
Cool type character.
Yeah.
There's this moment in the movie where she rescues the girls from her premonitions where they get killed on the subway train. And she drives them out into like the middle of the woods where there are no like cameras or way to track them, because that's how the villain is finding them, is like just they hack like the security cameras all throughout Chicago or wherever they are.
Yeah, I don't know if it's New York or Chicago. I think it is Chicago.
Metropolis? No, it's New York.
It's New York because it's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yes.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. And there's this scene where they're like all asking her a bunch of questions, and her line and the way she delivers it is was comical because she's like, I don't know, a bunch of crazy shit's happening, and I have no idea what's going on. And like it's
That's a pretty good Trump impression.
Thank you. And that's like throughout the movie.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that throughout the movie, and it was not nearly as fun as I thought it was gonna be. Maybe it's probably more fun in a group. It was just me and Deanna watching it.
Yeah,
it was definitely like silly and ridiculous, and I will say that there was a little some cool like editing tricks and like production stuff that they did throughout the movie. Camera and editing tricks that were kind of cool. I was like, oh, that was not bad, and that was kind of cool. And because she's like wrestling with this power where she's like seeing things that are happening like a few minutes from when they happen, and then she like relives them again, and she's like tripping out because like she tells the person like Adam Scott, her EMT friend, she imagines the conversation, and then it happens again, and she's like, you just said that, or like you just took my readings or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that throughout the movie. But yeah, not a great movie. A weird villain, a very strange villain, I think.
Not non-Spider-Man.
Yeah, like not Spider-Man. And then it took me a second, even after you mentioned it, the Ben, like Uncle Ben. I forgot until like after that birthday party scene, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's Ben Parker. Oh, Uncle Ben. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the nephew. Oh, that's Peter Parker.
Yeah, and it's a young Ben. It's a young Uncle Ben, which we're not used to seeing.
Right before he started his rice empire.
Yeah, Uncle Ben's rice. But yeah, I mean I can't really recommend it, but like don't watch it on your own. I guess I have no idea. Don't watch it. Just don't watch it.
I thought it was fun enough to watch.
Yeah. But yeah, that's streaming on Netflix. I give that like a 1.5, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
The second, we kind of talked about No Way Up. That was the second worst thing I watched. That plane shark movie.
Oh yeah.
In the water.
It was meh.
Nah, not great.
Yeah.
The third best movie that I watched, Under Paris, we talked about that.
Yeah.
And that was really good. I strongly recommend that shark movie for sure. Watched Easy A again for the first time in a while. Solid like teen comedy movie that is like Emma Stone, Amanda Bynes.
Oh yeah, she was in that.
Penn Badgley.
Yeah. He's the guy that plays what's his name in You.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He plays
Sandman.
Joe. Yeah.
The Sandman.
Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah, Thomas Hayden Church.
Lisa Kudrow.
Phoebe from Friends.
Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah, Lisa Kudrow.
Stanley Tucci.
As the parents. Yeah, she has.
I can't remember her name. The mom's name. I can never remember.
She has great parents.
Yeah.
The Stanley Tucci's fantastic. When her Emma Stone's younger brother, who is adopted, is this little black kid, and Stanley Tucci's like, the kid reveals that he was adopted, and Stanley Tucci's reaction is like, "Who told you? We were gonna do this together."
I like also he looks over at some point and goes, "So where are you from? What's your story?" As his adopted father.
It is. I like the story of Easy A, and how it's not like about like a teen romance story, even though that's like a subplot of the movie, but not like the main storyline, where she still kind of ends up with the popular guy, Woodchuck Todd, and
Woodchuck Todd.
It's really solid, like funny movie that still kind of holds up. It's a little
loosely based on Easy A or Scarlet Letter.
Yeah, Scarlet Letter, which is prominent throughout the movie.
Malcolm McDowell is the principal.
Yes, Malcolm McDowell.
Fred Armisen is the pastor. What pastor?
Yeah, he plays. I
don't remember that part.
The priest when Olive goes to see, talk to him about, try to get his advice about something. And then
remember that scene.
And the conversation's like, she's like, so hell exists, right? And then the priest's like, the Catholic Church fully acknowledges the existence of hell. And then and then she's like, okay, for the sake of argument, let's say hell exists. And then he's like, it's there beneath us. hell exists with a very, very deadpan look. And
Where's that streaming?
that's on Netflix as well, I believe.
Cool.
I think it's been on Netflix forever. It feels like.
Netflix bringing in the hits.
I rewatched Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing
movie.
since I don't know, I can't remember the last time I watched this movie. Very fun movie. Kind of a good mashup of all of the classic horror creatures: Frankenstein, Dracula, and Wolfman. And very entertaining. Very entertaining. Maybe a little bit long, but
Yeah, it's a little long.
But I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. And Hugh Jackman plays Van Helsing. And what's her name from Underworld?
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah,
Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale, yeah.
Also playing in another movie with werewolves. Werewolves and vampires.
Oh, shit.
And his little helper friend. What's his name? I don't know the actor's name, but he's been in. He was in The Proposition. He's in 300. He's the guy who's telling the story.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know the actor's name.
I know his face though.
David Wenham.
Yeah. He plays like his little helper who like helps him with his weapons and stuff. He's not a monk. He's a friar.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
This is streaming on Hulu, released in 2004. I mean, the CG looks
Is it better than Easy A for you?
better. No, this is slightly worse.
Oh, okay.
So I went backwards.
A roller coaster of emotions.
But still very, very fun. Very fun.
I like
movie.
this a lot better than I thought I was going to. Saw it for the first time like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, Van Helsing, really?
Yeah.
I saw it. Oh my god.
I saw this in theaters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Super fun.
I like the flying succubus vampire girls or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
And like
That unlocks something in my mind.
Frankenstein is he's like the key to Dracula's
Demise.
Put that away.
mortality.
Okay.
Or like he's like trying to become mortal or like feel again, and he's like, but also trying to like in Under Paris, he just has a bunch of spawn, a bunch of baby vampires that he wants to hatch.
Fly, my little pretties.
But he needs Frankenstein's body to be the conduit for the lightning, and I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it gets a little murky.
But super fun.
Cool.
And then the top movie of the week that I watched streaming on Netflix, it is The Clove Hitch Killer.
Yeah.
A movie that I watched because I said I would watch it.
Okay, we don't need
Because
we
I
don't need the preamble
said
on it.
I
Yeah, we
would
don't need
watch
the
it.
we don't need the preamble. We don't need the
Tyler gave it
preamble on
five stars. Highest recommend possible. A-.
Yes. I gave it 4.5. Very good though.
Okay.
Very, very good. Streaming on Netflix and Hulu. It was very tense, and it was like Prisoners Light. Very Prisoners Light.
Interesting. I never thought. Yeah, that's good. Good analogy.
Like a cheaper version of Prisoners.
Okay, well that's
Dollar General prisoners. Kirkland's signature.
I don't know if I agree
And
with
that's
that.
more just in the production quality of the movie. But very well done. There's like very little. I feel like there's very little music throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And the characters are good. The son, who is the main character, being doubtful or just suspicious of, I guess, of his father. That's like the main point throughout the whole movie.
I hated that the main character was named after me. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that really like took me out of the movie sometimes.
I know. Whenever someone's named Peter in a movie, I always get taken out too. Peter! Like, oh no.
It's like, yes.
I'm possessed by Payman.
But I don't want to reveal too much because there's a moment where it takes a turn, and where like he like sends his family, his wife away, and his son goes to like some camp. And I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
Is it with the Polaroids and the dancing or something?
Yeah.
That's fun.
I was really like, what? I was like, because I was like still unsure. Is like, is
Yeah.
this guy just obsessed or
Yeah.
copycat or
This would
just like, I'm not kink shaming, but
Yeah.
and his little tantrum that he throws.
Oh,
on
yeah.
but
Heather says that she saw The Clove Hitch Killer on DVD at FYE
There's,
at the mall.
They still have FYEs.
I know. I haven't seen one in here for a while.
FYE.
Yeah, for your entertainment.
Just like a CD movie entertainment store.
Kind of like Tower Records or something.
I thought it was called FYI. Oh, FYI. No, yeah, no, you're
FYE,
right.
yeah.
FYE. And I enjoyed the little kind of backtracking editing trick that they do in the third act of the movie. It was like reminded me of like in Last of Us 2 when you're playing as Ellie and you go 3 days of the story and then you play as Abby and you go back to day one and to a meeting point in the story. Very well done movie. Sorry I didn't watch it sooner. This came out in 2018.
It's a solid movie. Kind of under the radar too.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people seen it.
I haven't seen many movies with Dylan McDermott, but he was great in this.
He pulled all the stops out.
He pulled it out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Pulled something out.
Tyler, put that away.
And the main Charlie Plummer, is that the
I think that's his
kid?
name, yeah.
He did a good job of being kind of like because he's like in a very religious town and a very religious family, and he's very Boy Scout-ish because he is essentially a Boy Scout or an Eagle Scout or something.
Yeah.
I liked the reveals of the end because Deanna was on that fucking edge of her seat watching this movie. She was like convulsing, like she was, because there's a point in the movie where you're like, call the police.
That's a drop right there. Call the police.
Yeah, it was good. It was more fun to watch her, but the moments that when she was like that, it was very tense because I was like feeling that way inside. I just wasn't outwardly expressing as much as she was.
I kept questioning myself throughout the whole film. I was like, where are they going with this?
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah,
and it's not like ham-fisted too.
Yeah.
It's very subtle.
Actually, I lied. Sorry, not the best thing that I watched this
Oh,
week. That was the second best thing I watched this week.
Okay.
The best thing that I watched this week is the new documentary, Jim Henson's Idea Man.
Oh,
Joe Bridges was talking about that in the chat earlier.
Is really, really well made and really, really good. It is like just like a story about Jim Henson and like not just the Muppets, but like they show footage that has like never been seen.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Because they had like full access to. This is directed by Ron Howard too.
Oh, nice.
Full access to like the family's like library of early projects before he went and did the Muppets.
Okay.
And he was just like a creative fucking genius. He is essentially a very experimental filmmaker who ended up doing obviously he ended up doing the Muppets, which was like one of the biggest things that he did.
I can't remember. Did he do Fraggle Rock as well?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Fraggle
okay,
Rock.
that's what I thought.
And he was a guy who would always do a project to a certain extent and then feel like he needs to move on and do the next thing. They show a lot of his early experimental short films that he did and kind of like very vignette type filmmaking where it's just like, I don't want to say a stream of consciousness, but just like a lot of scenes put together that aren't necessarily correlated, but it like all flows together in his style of making a movie or a short film. Like at one point they're talking about how he wanted to create an experience that essentially was like a nightclub, but he wasn't trying to make a nightclub. That's just what it would end up being.
Right.
Like it's a room with multiple like projectors showing different things that he created, and it would be like something that would go out like in multiple,
like a traveling roadshow or something.
I don't know if it's traveling. I think it was like in different parts of like one city or different parts of the U.S. or something. It's a project that never like came to fruition because he ended up doing something else instead. And it shows how just like how tenacious he was in work and almost to the detriment of like his family, because he would be so caught up in his own work that he would just not be at home. Because in the beginning, it was him and his wife who were working together and doing like these public access shows.
Yeah.
And doing puppetry. and Kermit was the first, not the first one he made, but it was like the one that stayed throughout his entire career. And he wasn't even a frog when he first made him. He was just a green man, just a green guy.
Just a green guy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it was emotional. There were parts in the doc where it's like nothing sad is happening, but it's just so wholesome that it's like you just feel like emotions rising.
You're a big Muppet guy too, huh?
Yeah, I am a big Muppet guy.
I love the Muppets.
Oh, clearly, okay.
And it talks about like his works on Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, and how Dark Crystal was a success, but Labyrinth was a failure when it first released.
Really, I would have thought the opposite.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. And how the Muppets was something that nowhere in the U.S., no channel in the U.S. or network in the U.S. wanted to broadcast that. So he had to do it. He had to go to London, and that's where it started. And then it took over.
All I remember about watching like the first Muppet movie, the 1979 Muppets movie, is thinking, look at all these insane hippies twacked out on acid and marijuana and like driving a car full of puppets. You know, there's like 9 of them crammed in the footwells of this freaking old DeSoto or something. And they're like driving down the road and filming it. And I'm like, that evolved into so many cool things from my childhood.
It became a cultural icon.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like they show a lot of behind the scenes, like the interviews they have Frank Oz, who was like one of his longest like partners in that industry. And also they talked to Jennifer Connelly and like her experience with him on Labyrinth. And a lot of his family is in it too, because they are in the industry as well. And
how did he die?
Pneumonia.
Damn, that sucks.
He didn't go to the doctor, and that's how he died.
Oh, he didn't go to the doctor? Oh, man.
Tyler's going to meet the same fate. that wet, take care of that wet cough.
Yeah, you're going to die if trench foot keeps slipping in your socks.
Got that, got the ingrown toenail that just goes wild.
I got to get
marinating in there overnight.
But yeah. I'm sorry, I got to cancel. I got gangrene.
Wash your foot.
But yeah, it was just she's just a really fucking creative dude.
Where's that streaming?
That's on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. I had to.
And it was really good.
Cool.
And really, really well made.
Joe Bridges says that he went down the rabbit hole and watched a bunch of his shorts after he watched this fantastic doc. Says there's a bunch of them scattered across the internet. Canopy has about 7 or 8 of them. Most are around 4 minutes or so they're easy watches. And his favorite was Drum West. I'm going to try to see if I can find those online. Maybe put some in the show notes because I'm really interested about those as well.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Cool. Anything else?
No.
Okay, cool. So thank you to everyone in the chat who's participated. Joe Bridges, Heather Sachs, Joel was here for a minute. Who else do we have in the chat? Anybody else? We had a couple new ones. Sunny Boo. I feel like I've seen that name before. And then Angry Otter Reacts. I don't know if they're still there or not, but yeah, thanks for everybody for hopping in and saying what's up in the chat. Really appreciate it. And thank you to our cool-ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather Sachs in the chat, Ryan, Corbin, and Chris. If you want to support us on the Patreon, hit us up at patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass. Until next time. Thank you for joining us yet again. Follow us later on in the week as we review A Very Long Engagement, a Patreon pick from Binge Lord Dan. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, and please follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class and leave us a voicemail, why don't you, at 209-730-6010.
And follow us on Twitter at Podcast MCFC and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class.
And please, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, head on over and hit subscribe. It means a lot. We'll see you next time.
Au revoir.
See ya.
Au revoir. Oh, that's the Jew.
Huh?
Oh. Oh.
That's my wife. That's my wife.
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call. Bueller.
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kim left to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello and welcome to Middle Class Film Class Movie Review Edition. I'm your host for today, Joseph.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Tyler.
And this week, the Wheel of Destiny landed on a Patreon pick, correct?
Yeah.
A very long engagement. You can just look at that tiny little... Bear with me for a second here.
Perfect.
For as long as they've known each
Oh,
other,
English.
have wanted to get married.
I'm glad it's in English.
Yeah. I like this song. Oh, we're having sex now? Okay.
But fate had other plans.
Uh-oh.
The only thing she's been told is he's missing.
He's missing.
Dead. Mathilde would know.
Mathilde.
From the director of Amelie comes the story of one woman's courage to unlock a mystery that could break her heart.
Hi, Steven. This is Clem Fandango. Can you hear me?
A Zeppelin!
Whoopee!
Witness the motion picture event.
Witness me.
The absurdity of war. It's absurd. Of the human heart.
And Jodie Foster
A
in
very long engagement. Well, that was it.
That's what, that
was it.
That was it.
That was certainly
All
movie.
right.
Thanks for watching. A very long engagement was the movie that was picked for us by Binge Lord
Dan.
Binge Lord Dan.
Correct. It was on the wheel, now it's off the wheel because we watched it. And this is a movie directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, director of Amelie, as it said, as well as Delicatessen,
City of Lost Children,
and that one,
Alien Resurrection,
and most notably Alien Resurrection.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why did they put that in the trailer?
I know that
From the director
from
of
acclaimed
Alien
director.
Resurrection.
This is starring Audrey Tautou, who was in Amelie, who played Amelie. Gaspard Ulliel as Manic. Dominique Pignon, who's in all of his movies, I feel like, who is
And like nothing else.
Mathilde's dad or uncle.
Yeah,
uncle.
something like that.
Yeah. And Jodie Foster.
Yeah, that's right.
Surprise Jodie Foster.
I
was
was
like-
really surprised to see Jodie Foster.
I was like,
She was great too.
Yeah, she
is
was.
that Jodie Foster? She speaks fluent French, apparently.
Yeah.
And
Or she did. Maybe they had her do what they did with Ron Perlman, where he just learned all his French lines.
no, she speaks fluently.
'Cause he doesn't speak French, but he was in City of Lost Children.
Oh, was he?
And he doesn't speak Spanish, but he was also in Kronos. GDT's Kronos.
He just learns the lines in French, the specific French lines.
It's like
for the movie.
Yeah, it's like a Swedish band that learns how to sing in English.
Yeah. And this is a very long engagement. We all watched it, and this is my first time watching it. I don't know about you guys.
Mine too.
Yeah, mine.
All of our first times watching Very Long Engagement. Is there any message with this movie to go along with? Okay.
Yeah, I have a message from Binge Lord Dan. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Tyler, are you ready?
Hold on. Let me trust myself really quick. Yes, I'm ready.
He had to let one out.
Okay, great. All right, so Binge Lord Dan, a longtime Patreon member and supporter of the show, friend of the show, and he resides up in Canada as well. So I'm assuming Dan speaks a little bit of the French.
He probably knows like a little bit because of
he
the
might
location
be fluent. I don't know. I honestly don't know about Steven either. He every once in a while will message us and say "les boys," and he commented on what Monte.
He said Quebec. Quebecian.
Quebecois.
Oh, Quebecois. Yeah, that's right.
Quebecois.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm assuming Dan speaks a little French because of this message. He says a very long engagement.
Bonjour.
Yeah. It says a very long engagement or un long dimanche de français. Francois.
He just copy pasted the original title.
Is a film that I first saw completely by accident. It was at my local famous players watching I don't even remember what, and I decided to sneak into this other screening where the film had just started. From the opening narration in the trenches of World War I was hooked. I had already seen Alien Resurrection. I'm a fan. And Amélie, or La Fabuleux Destin d'Amélie Poulain. And as
German listeners.
Yeah. And as a fan of Jean-Pierre Jeannot's work, but this catapulted him into one of my favorite directors. The film is simultaneously brutal, quirky, hilarious, action-packed, romantic, gut-wrenching, and the mystery behind it is all genuinely captivating. I lovingly describe it as a romantic mystery revenge drama war film. Let me do that another take on that.
Okay.
Because that's a good description. A romantic mystery revenge drama war film. The characters are all 100% memorable, and Jodie Foster, who is one of my favorite actors, pops in for a great cameo as we learn more about the fate of the soldiers. It can be argued that it can be trimmed down and streamlined, but my response to that is, shut up, Tyler, do better.
What? Why am I getting roped into this?
And he gave some finger gun emojis with the sunglasses.
Assuming things about you.
And I haven't even touched on the camera work, set design, color palette, and all that fun stuff that needs to be seen to be appreciated. I hope it holds at least a B for you guys, but for me, it's an A+ all the way. Thank you, Dan.
Okay. Cool.
Love that. I love that description. I had no idea what to expect, so...
Yeah, me either. The name A Very Long Engagement was not very enticing.
No.
Because I was expecting a very long... I was expecting homework.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting going into it.
Did you feel like it was homework? Well, I guess
we'll get to that.
Yeah, I guess we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Right? All our first time watches, and let's get into some initial thoughts then, right? Right? Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I think
Okay, something like that. Here we go. All right. Pete.
Okay, so A Very Long Engagement. I also felt like it was going to be homework. I didn't realize it was French language, and I was like, oh god! Immediately, eyes rolling. And I normally watch my movies on my TV downstairs. I have the home entertainment system, and Brianna just was not in the mood. She does not want to watch a depressing war movie and have to pay attention to subtitles. She's been feeling a little bit under the weather, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to watch this one solo. So I actually came up here into the studio and I watched it on the monitor, with the headphones on and whatnot. And I thought that was a perfect way to do it because it kind of forced me to, really engage in it. And it was in the French with, subtitles. I didn't watch it in dubbed. I don't even know if you could find it dubbed or not, but I rented it on YouTube for $4, and it was French language with English dubs. And I think right from the get-go, I was hooked very quickly.
Yeah.
I know the Jean-Pierre Junot's style is very, it's almost like Terry Gilliam-esque, where it's very kind of a collected camera angles and a lot of up-close shots and like Dutch angles and things like that. And with Amelie, it's like very whimsical. Yeah. And there's less lightheartedness to this movie, but there still is a fair amount of whimsy in the way the story is told. For a very dark subject matter, I think they did a very good job of showing it from an interesting perspective. It started getting a little bit much as the story got on. That there's like, well, okay, now there's another twist, and the guy with the German boots is different from that. And I think all the like the second and third accounts of these men that were in the trenches and these condemned men, it was almost like they take someone's word as gospel, and then that's the truth for the rest of reality forever. And I thought that was a little strange. Maybe that's just because I'm so used to objective truths of video footage and, reports and whatnot, that a guy who told a thing to a guy in passing in the middle of no man's land, in the middle of World War I, making his way back through letters and carrier pigeons and shit back to some French countryside cottage. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh my gosh, he's dead. That plays a part of how the story can be interesting, because the information that you're given as a viewer and the information that Mathilde is given is not 100% based in truth all the time.
Right.
You always can fall back on the fact that it's an unreliable narrator through this 12 degrees of separation before she gets the actual message. So I think the thing that really makes it the story interesting as it goes along is that there's so many characters. It got confusing, but I didn't care. There's so many characters and so many people and these amazing mustaches throughout that just...
Yeah, there was some incredible mustaches.
Fantastic mustaches. I was jealous. Very jealous. I'm actually jealous of your mustache, Tyler. When you grow it out and you just shave the beard off, you got a great, like a Tom Selleck-esque mustache.
Tom Selleck one.
Yeah, it's not quite as long because your upper lip is not as wide as Selleck's.
Yeah.
But I can't do that. I get like a patch in the middle. It's blank and it looks terrible.
Cutting edge news.
Yeah, but these frog leg eating bastards, these baguette toting Frenchies, they got some stashes. They got some real deal stashes. Yeah. So I interestingly, like when I got near the end of the film, I kind of thought it's a really a valid entry into the world of war films or war cinema, because they show a lot of the horrors of war in quick snippets and very personal vignettes, much like Come and See or something like 1917.
Or like Band of Brothers.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
Yeah. Or Dunkirk or something, where you're getting very up close and personal with the people and their very small bits of how war is affecting them.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah, Quiet on the Western Front's another good one. And I never would have thought of this, and I don't think I've ever heard of this in the conversation of like great war movies. Not the whole movie's not about war, but it's all about the people that are affected through war.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was fantastic. Great storytelling. I kind of longed a little bit for something outside of just the sepia tone throughout the whole thing. And it almost felt like a little gimmicky in that sense. Like it felt appropriate, but at a certain point I was kind of thinking maybe they were going to play with, when they're storytelling in this part of the world, it's in sepia, and this part of the world, it's more colorful and stuff. But it just was all very, very brown and yellow, which the French countryside is a beautiful place. And I felt like I was missing out on some of that beauty from the, the sepia, that kind of sepia soaked filter. But all in all, fantastic movie. Glad I watched it. Good job, Dan.
Good job, Dan.
Good job, Dan.
All right, did Binge Lord Dan predict what Tyler feels about the movie? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote
Tyler.
I wrote a review on Letterboxd.
Tyler reads his own Letterboxd reviews.
Got a shortened
is
version.
Me, myself, and Tyler.
A shortened version just for Joseph. I actually think that's a great idea.
All right, so I rated this movie 4.5 stars with a heart on Letterboxd.
Starting with the grade at first.
So a B minus.
Well, you'll find out.
Oh, okay.
This is a perfect movie to start off your Saturday morning with cold pizza and a glass of cranberry juice. It has everything you would want after staying up until 4:17 a.m. War, romance, tragedy, and light comedy. I was not sold on
the
the
very specific circumstances, I have to say.
This is the kind of reviews you get from Tyler.
I was not sold on the story in the beginning. However, as the movie moved along, I was so much more invested, and I think the subtitles helped to keep my attention as well as the great shots that were presented. Some scenes could have been cut, but I think overall this was a great movie. I would grade this movie an A. End of report.
Oh, that's it.
He did say Dan
That's
did.
it.
Dan did predict that you'd say that some of the scenes could have been trimmed down.
Yeah.
So he was right.
Yeah, I guess he was.
He was right.
But this definitely feels like the director from Amelie. He's taking he has a certain style, and it's like a quirkiness sort of way of filmmaking, just like an Amelie. Which isn't to say it's a bad thing, but it's very apparent. I really liked the juxtaposition of like the French countryside to being in the trenches, and I thought the acting was really well done, and for what the story is about, it was in regards of the acting, it was done really well. Like it did its job, and so. As far as the mystery of the part of the story goes, I was intrigued by it. It kind of lost me a little bit.
Did you ever think that she wasn't going to find Manesh?
Well, I mean, we can get into that in like the meat of the review because I have an opinion on it. All but as the story progressed on, I was thinking to myself, okay, let's get to the fucking. All right, like. Let's do it.
Enough foreplay. Let's get to penetration.
And so
that's my wife.
Not yet.
But like you
they
said,
didn't get married in the movie.
But like you said, Pete, there was a lot of characters to keep up with, and because it is a French movie, it's hard as an American to keep up with like the French names. Like I kept up with a couple of the names, like I
have the same problem.
Like it was just hard to keep up with like the amount of characters that were involved in this like conspiracy. There was a turning point in the film though that really like kept my attention. Like I'm not saying I wasn't paying attention, but it really like it really made me,
for that.
it really made me go like, oh, okay.
I was so into this movie, I wasn't even paying attention.
Wow.
I think a lot of the scenes, like the sepia filter you were talking about, Pete, I agree. I think it was a little bit overused. I wish they kind of used it in a way that would have been effective towards the storytelling. But yeah, I don't know. I all I have to say is like I really enjoyed myself watching this movie, and it also reminded me my hate for the character of Amelie.
You hate Amelie?
Not the movie, just the character.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. No.
Why? What's wrong with her?
No, she's
trying to find the joys in life.
She's a selfish pain in the ass.
I think we can all agree that we really enjoyed this movie, and this was a masterful piece.
I haven't seen Amelie in a long time, so I can't remember.
No, that when I first saw Amelie, like it sticks with me to this day. To this day, after I watched that movie, I was like, "Fuck her, fuck her."
You wanted to fuck her?
No, I wouldn't touch her with a 10.5-foot pole.
What?
Because she's annoying.
Yeah, and selfish.
Selfish? How is she selfish?
She's a sociopath.
She's literally just trying to find a mystery of the picture of,
we're not talking
the phone booth.
So we're not talking about.
Well, that's annoying, and I hate it.
You know that Junot made Alien Resurrections before Amelie.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. It was
Well,
the
he
movie.
made
Well,
Resurrection in like the
because
90s.
Amelie,
97,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna say because Amelie came out in
Amelie's
like the
01.
early 2000s.
Amelie's 01, Resurrection is 97, and then A Very Long Engagement 04.
Yeah.
But A Very Long Engagement was after Amelie? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because it's in the trailer.
True.
From the director of Amelie.
The movie that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah. Soon to be released. They're like Pixar, where they hide stuff in the next movie.
Oh, yeah.
But overall, the beginning it didn't really capture me, but then it started picking up momentum, and it definitely captured my attention with the whole conspiracy of it all. Because I was thinking to myself, is this going to turn out to be like a nothing burger, or are we going to actually lead to somewhere? And we did.
What is this, Nothing Burger?
That would be really frustrating if it was a 2.5 hour long movie and she doesn't find the guy. He just died.
That's what I thought.
Or she doesn't even like get closure at all.
Yeah. She dies.
Well,
she dies.
So that I meant to put that in my review. Is I was hoping that there was not going to be any closure. I thought that would have been a lot more effective than the ending that we got. But also I do appreciate the ending we got because. Well, we'll get into it, but I did like the ending that we got. So yeah, no, it's definitely an A movie.
Shit. Are you serious?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Good, awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
What did I think?
What did you think, Joseph?
What did I think?
What did you think?
Tell us, Joseph. Tell us.
I'll tell you.
I haven't.
That is so mysterious, mischievous.
I'll tell you. Fuck. What's that?
No, I want you to see you fuck.
Oh,
it was the very end of that one for some reason.
I enjoyed this movie quite a bit, actually.
All right.
The whole time, my comparisons were Amelie, very appropriately, like the style of the movie. Appropriately Amelie mixed with Atonement.
Yeah, good call.
With like kind of the mystery, a little bit of Atonement, because you're kind of wondering throughout the whole all of that movie as well.
Yeah.
And I think it does a good job of blending very depressing things mixed with quirkiness, kind of like
get sad in here,
like Life is Beautiful, and how that's a very depressing subject matter, but it is presented through the eyes essentially of a child, so who's being shielded from that terrible thing.
Yeah.
I think it has a sort of the same amount of. Actually, this probably has a little bit more whimsicalness
Whimsy
than that one does, due to the nature of the filmmaker and his style of shooting things and editing and character, the way he writes his characters. The mailman and the uncle having the gravel argument.
Oh, I guess I have to say about that.
And the beginning was a little bit, I wouldn't say I wasn't like engaged with it, but I was like kind of waiting for the movie to start, because there was a lot of narration of like introducing certain characters. And I was just like, is this going to be the whole movie? But
that's what I was thinking.
But it gets going at some point, and I had a good time with it. I enjoyed the mystery. I liked Marion Cotillard's kind of character who's on her own mission.
Yeah.
When
she reads that note out of the pocket watch or whatever it is, I was almost like, I was expecting her to go, oops. Whoop, too late.
And I liked the mystery of it all, and the sort of like, I don't want to say like Nancy Drew-esque, but like her just going around trying to find answers from people and uncovering things and peeling back layers of other things, and ultimately getting to a point where it's like all hope is lost.
Yeah.
And now I have to accept the fact that my fiance is dead.
Everybody's been telling me the whole time.
Literally everyone kept telling her he was dead.
She's like, give up.
And ultimately, I think the ending was very, very bittersweet.
Yeah, really?
Bittersweet.
Very, very bittersweet, because on one hand, and then the other hand,
I don't know. I don't know all I know is that they're together. It's happy. It's good. Right?
No.
It's like a 51st date situation.
Is it implied that he doesn't remember her?
It's not implied.
It's expressly. It's explicitly expressed.
I thought he was just doing that like tongue in cheek.
Oh no!
Like he's like, hey doll, winks at her like
because he says the same thing to her, like when he said to her as a kid about her legs.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he was just recalling the greatest hits from their relationship.
No. Greatest hits.
Instead of being like like being a simp and oh, you're finally here. Oh. He's just like, hey baby.
No.
What them legs do?
It was a very very bittersweet because she obviously knows and remembers, and then he's like, it's cool that you're here.
Yeah.
And it's like
her
and
monologue.
you kind of wonder, is it gonna reignite? She gonna continue? Is she
okay?
Gonna...
I interpreted that ending very differently. Sorry to interrupt. Continue your thing.
But yeah, I think it was a good, sad, funny story.
Cool.
Yeah, presented in a I guess in a kind of comedic, quirky way. At times. A juxtapose word of the day is with the atrocities and the horrors of war. And peeing in helmets and
that was.
I thought that's what he was going to be court-martialed for. I'm like, come on.
I thought
I know it's fucked up, but
I thought that was interesting that you are injured, so you must die now.
I think it was once the second guy was introduced that he was court-martialed for a hand injury. I'm like, are all these guys going to have hand injuries? And sure as shit, they all had hand injuries.
All had hand
they
injuries.
are doing it to themselves.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, what if you really got a hand injury?
Except for the main fiance, I guess it wasn't technically self-inflicted, but like he lit up a cigarette and
he did it on purpose.
Well, I know he did it on purpose, but you could.
It's like putting your hand into the lion's cage at the zoo and be like, oh, what happened? I'm going to sue.
Yeah.
That's your own fault. You did it to yourself.
Well, the first guy, he just woke up and there were rats. And he just...
Oh, he accidentally...
accidentally shoots something and he gets sentenced to death.
I know, that's fucked up. That sucks for him.
I would love to see like that trial. It's like, no, I had rats all over me and I accidentally discharged my firearm. Yeah, no, I don't give a shit.
Rats in a place like this? Yeah, right.
I know. At least become something believable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
I can't imagine that I'd watch it again, but it was very good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Very good engagement.
I don't know. I don't know if it deserves a rewatch, but I'm glad that I watched it. I'm glad that I can be able to kibitz about it with you guys because I did enjoy myself watching it. It was.
We're doing second thoughts now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We're going in reverse.
Oh.
I was confused about a number of times there in the subtitles it would say speaking a foreign language at the top. And I'm assuming that was when they were Germans talking?
That's what I assumed.
I turned off the subtitles.
Really?
Just absorb the French?
No.
I was going to be like, wow.
Yeah.
You've been able to speak French the whole time?
I just get it from the vibe.
The whole time.
I didn't know you could speak French this whole time.
He did it on hard mode.
I read lips, actually.
Oh, French lips.
Yeah, French
lips. You could read French kisses?
Yeah. I don't have a French kiss, Johnny. No, there was on Apple TV is where I rented it, and
they had an English dub.
They had double subtitles. It was like the subtitles that were in the movie,
annoying,
and then subtitle, and I just turned those off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate when filmmakers do subtitles on foreign movies for us English language speakers.
When do they not?
They're.
When can you get a movie
come and see
in a modern era with no subtitles?
Well, I don't know about modern era. Well, I mean, Come and See comes to mind.
You watched that with no subtitles?
No, I did, but like I'm saying, like subtitles like in the movie,
burned into the movie.
Yeah, and rather
hard coded.
Yeah. So Come and See. I don't believe I think you had to watch it with subtitles because they were all speaking in Russian or Ukrainian, something like that.
I mean, they probably do that to modernize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine
just confusing what you're saying.
Someone watching Come and See
about it?
in a theater in the country in which it is the language that it speaks.
Yeah. having
if they
English
have
subtitles.
English subs or not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna when I go to Portugal, I'm gonna look and see if there's any movies playing.
Actually, when I was in
see if they're in English or Portuguese.
When I was in Sweden and I saw Dunkirk, they had Swedish subtitles.
It was English language with Swedish subtitles.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It was it just said Borky Dorty Borky.
What I really like,
Harry Styles,
our Swedish listeners are loving this. That's to you, Michael Graves.
Yeah.
If he's still,
I get shot down there, Flurgan.
That's Greaves, by the way.
Oh, Greaves. I thought it was Graves the whole time.
No,
Greaves.
That's why I'm not going to be here next week. Actually.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I think I think the conspiracy of it all was interesting because you are led to believe that these people are dead, and then you get a little titillated, like, oh, they might be alive, because like there's like these little threads. And what I really liked, though, too, I'm actually going off point here, but what I really liked too is who's the fiance's name? What was it? Manesh. Okay.
Manesh.
The whole where he like, well, like when they made love for the first time and they're cuddling in the morning and he's holding her breast and you can feel the heartbeat.
Let me unload in you.
Yeah, that scene. Yeah.
Stop. You're distracting me. I really like the idea of him saying, like, every time I feel a heartbeat, like I feel her breast. And I can relate.
I think he's saying whenever he feels his blood pulsing, it feels her heartbeat. He didn't say he feels her breast.
Oh.
I feel her heart beating in mine whenever I feel my pulse in my wound.
Oh.
Not I feel her titty every time my heart beats.
Okay.
This reminds me of her boobs.
Oh man, love those tits. Love them.
I mean, there was a scene where he wakes up and he's like,
yeah,
it's got it right on there, and that's how I sleep.
Yeah, I felt like that was.
Oh wow.
That whole scene, like their young love, was very believable.
It was, yeah, because it wasn't
very sweet.
Yeah, it was very sweet, very young love. I mean, you know, it was. I found it interesting too, like throughout the whole movie, like the romances throughout the whole, like soldiers and even the uncle and the aunt. It was just very like wholesome. And it gave me a warm feeling in my. It gave me
have the hardest boner right now.
Well, there was a little swelling, but I had it heated up my cold heart just a little bit, There's a little ember in that cold chamber in my heart, and I really enjoyed that. And I mean, like I'm not gonna lie, like I got a little weepy at some of those scenes. Like
it didn't affect me emotionally quite as much as I think it wanted to. Like I didn't get any of the weepies.
I think I was in a more sensitive state though because
post coitus. Tip was a little sensitive.
It was 6 a.m. I was drinking cranberry juice.
I got 2 hours and 27 minutes worth of sleep.
Yeah. So I was probably in a more sensitive state of mind than you guys were when you watched it. But I
like the scene when they're having the standoff with the German in this trench. And the one guy's they're just pointing 2 guns at each other, and the officer comes over and just takes his gun from him and goes,
"Oh, hey, you're here. Oh, you're stabbing me."
He runs the guy through.
I thought the coldest scene, though, in this movie was when the guy he wasn't French, he was Corsican. Is that how you pronounce it?
Corsican.
Where's that? Where are they from?
Corsica is an island that's it's like between Italy and France.
And the guy says, like, oh, well, he's not French. And then the other guy who points the gun at him, he's like, exactly. And then, pow! Shoots him dead.
Corsica, an island in France. It's a mountainous Mediterranean island, presents a mix of stylish coastal towns, dense forest, and craggy peaks.
Craggy Pete?
Craggy Peak.
Oh.
Craggy Pete.
Peaky Blinders. Nearly half the island falls within a park whose hiking trails includes the challenging but it's been a part of France since 1768.
Okay, so technically he is French.
I think it's almost like the people of Tibet. It's China.
Oh,
but
I see.
They're like, we're Tibetan, we're not Chinese.
Yeah. Binge Lord Dan, one of the scenes that I would have cut out was the massage scene. That was so.
I would figure that would have been your favorite scene.
Well, I mean,
consider me a route.
I enjoyed the view, but
it was not a very long scene at all.
But it was unnecessary. It was like, what was the point? What was the point of her getting massaged?
She suffers from physical ailments.
Okay, but like, why do we need to see her nude being massaged by this mustachioed man who clearly was He took a little bit of a long time on her tuchus. Like he overstayed his welcome there.
Okay, so what did you think about the Jodie Foster scene?
I also thought it was interesting how I did not care about it.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Tyler. I couldn't have said it better myself. No, I didn't. I mean, I thought that was unnecessary as well. Like it doesn't add to this. It adds context to the fight between the two friends, but ultimately when you see because the narrator kind of just already like plays it out. It's like, yeah, they got in a fight because of this girl.
But then you get to find out why. I think that the cool part about the movie is that you find out so much about these little ins and outs of these people's lives throughout the story. And in like, would I care about an entire movie about Jodie Foster and this weird throuple that she's got and this like forced cuckoldry that she was like forced into? Maybe. That seems kind of interesting.
It's called Challengers.
Yeah, they have a whole movie like Challengers just came out. But having seen that in the movie, I thought, oh, that's really interesting. He's trying to get out of the war in this weird, interesting way, and then it forces her into this romantic
situation.
Yeah.
So I've
seen it before in other movies, start to finish, but I thought just that little bit was interesting.
So what I thought was, I thought the reasoning behind it, because like there's this whole back and forth, like when they're at the museum, like they are speed walking through that museum. What, they're not looking at all of these fossils that are around them, these amazing fossils that have been preserved. They're just corralling their kids, like just like, all right, let's go. Yeah, we took you to the museum. We did our job.
Well, there's a war going on,
I guess so. But I like the idea of him like explaining to her that, okay, well, if we have a sixth child, I don't have to go and I can stay.
6 is the number.
And I can't produce children. You know that. And so he takes his friend and he's like, hey, my wife.
My wife.
Can you?
That's my wife.
Can you?
Hey, that?
Can you?
That girl over there?
That's my wife.
Can you fuck her?
Can you? I'm just like, can you take her in between the sheets? I mean, like,
can you do me a solid?
Yeah.
give her a solid.
Yeah. Can you
know what I'm saying?
Can you do me a solid and give her a solid? And so, I like the idea, but I didn't need the context of her developing like romantic feelings, because I feel like that could have been a movie on its own based on the story. So I would have rather had been left to infer like what happens rather than having to go through like this whole like.
Well, both those guys die.
Yeah. So I mean, but. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
how does that pertain to what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the story.
Yeah, I know, but
that's not the feature length.
No, but
movie out of that.
No, but you could make a movie out of that, which they probably have ad nauseum. But I didn't like that whole sequence of like her trying to like her being like you know what? Actually,
I do like it.
What I'm saying is, I liked the initial seduction scene where they're at the kitchen table and she's like nervous, gives him some tea, and then she says, "Do you want a little pick me up?" He's like
a ZJ.
I don't know what that.
What's a ZJ?
If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Big man.
Hell yeah.
I did like that. But I think
they were both nervous. It wasn't even a seduction thing. It's a transaction. They're transactional.
A transaction.
Yeah. And then
that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
That's what it is.
Takes off her dress and reveals the pantaloons and corset,
the bodice,
the second outfit she has underneath.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Oh shit, I saw her ankle."
I like.
I looked at Deanna. I'm like, why do you wear stuff like that?
Oh Jesus.
Didn't she wear like pantaloons and stuff?
Yeah.
Huh? No.
Yeah.
Cottagecore, baby.
Oh, I thought you were talking about No, I really like the scene with the matches too.
Oh, that was great.
Where every time he lit a match, like
more clothes come off.
How'd she do it so fast?
I know.
She's that good, my man.
She had a corset on and everything. How'd she do that quietly?
She's just like, fuck.
She had those like magicians like tearaway clothes when they do the quick change.
Oh yeah. It was like snap-ons. Yeah. But
I like Marion Cotillard's whole subplot too. She was she was killing the men that were responsible for her husband's death.
Oh, I really like that. I wish they showed more of that.
Yeah, that's great. She was a really cool, like a sexual assassin.
Yeah.
Sexual assassin.
Yeah.
I get to go fuck another guy
and then kill him.
Where she ties up the general? Was it the general or a
They're
colonel?
all commanders or colonels or some shit.
Yeah, it was some commander.
That was a very weird way to kill somebody.
That's what I was thinking as well.
They kill somebody that way in Seed of Chucky, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, there's a couple of swingers they hook up with, and they break the glass mirror above the bed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of glass mirror deaths in the Child's Play series that they heavily overestimate the velocity at which glass can fall.
Yeah, in the short distance.
I know. Oh no, I dropped this. I mean, it would hurt. I don't know if it would penetrate your abdomen.
Yeah, and that much velocity. Yeah,
it'd like stick in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought that was a very interesting way to kill that person, because one. So she puts. I'm assuming she puts the tie over the man's face so he wouldn't scream and be
His
loud.
mouth, yeah.
But she shoots a gun. Who would not hear that? Like at that point,
I don't buy it.
At that point,
well, she's probably bounced right after that.
She did bounce, but
there you go.
But well, I don't know. I think
he couldn't scream and say, "Hey, someone save me! She's gonna shoot me!"
Well, I don't know. I think she could have just
smothered him.
Can I say something though? If someone were to shoot a gun, like my next door neighbor or something were to shoot a gun right now, like one shot like that,
a gun,
I don't think I would even know what was happening.
You'd be like, "What was that?"
Like, I'd hear, "What was that sound?" Okay, well, moving on. Unless I heard a gun and then a screaming afterwards, you know.
Then that would be
maybe somebody.
Well, then I mean, I don't know. Like I used to live in some pretty hard places,
and then every time you heard a gun, would you call the cops?
No, I would just be
you
like,
didn't do shit,
officer.
No,
exactly.
I wouldn't call the cops. What are the cops gonna
do?
do?
What am I, a narc?
No, I remember I would be laying in bed in like a pretty hard area that I was living in, and then I hear pow, 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 pow.
And you did nothing.
And I would just like lay in bed. I'd be like, no, well, that's another shooting.
Oh, boy. Another shooting.
Just another day, another dead neighbor.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, she gags him so he can't scream.
I think. Well, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting death, though. It was very Final Destination.
I liked the hidden gun though. That was very.
With the glasses.
Yeah, that was very
was so cool.
Reminiscent of what's his name,
Pink Panther.
Christoph Waltz's character from Django Unchained.
Oh yeah,
got the hidden gun out.
Yeah.
I insist. Shakes his hand and kills him.
Just bam.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was like, wow, they had that shit back then. Also, very accurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
I think I liked how she kept losing hope, and then she would gain hope and lose hope, and it was just like it was like ping ponged, like whether or not she believes. And when I really thought that he was dead for the whole time because she goes to the grave, and I can't remember if they show the sequence of events where the nurse guy. He like switches tags on them. I don't know if that was before or after.
He wasn't a nurse. He was
like a medic or something.
I don't know what his official title was, but he was like the guy that hooked him up with the food.
Yeah. And so like I thought I can't recall. Like,
that would be my role in the war. Food guy.
Food guy.
Yeah. Here's a piece of bread with some honey and lavender.
I would not do well in war.
Hot chocolate to dip it in. Oh boy, that sounded delightful.
That actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I don't
was-
never think to dip honey buttered bread into hot chocolate.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I would really enjoy that right off the bat, but just looking at him do it, I was like, yep.
Well, I mean,
that's
like
it.
they're in like horrific like conditions, so like anything like warm and sweet is gonna be like divine.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I don't know if they showed that sequence of the switching of tags before she went to the cross or after. But when she went to the
It was
cross,
after. It was after.
Oh, it was after.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I thought he was dead, and I was like, okay, so we're on this journey of her going to eventually find out, because she still like believes like there's like a conspiracy going on.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was hoping at the end of the movie, while I was watching it, that she would end up finding, oh well, she's dead, and now she has to find her way in life without her true love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was hoping for. What we got in the end was actually just as satisfying for myself.
I mean, now that I'm like in retrospect reevaluating his like loss of memory, it kind of reminds me of the bittersweet ending. I don't even know if it's bittersweet of Old Boy.
Oh God, I don't know if that's bittersweet.
Like he's found some weird
bitter something.
Yeah, he's found some sort of closure, and the only win that he can muster is the fact that she doesn't know that he's her dad.
Yeah,
and he's gonna leave it like that. He's gonna go to his grave with her never knowing that, supposedly.
But I did like
constantly like backhanding her when she tries to come on to him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
No,
I really
why
did.
I can't tell you, but no.
I really did like the ending though, that he has amnesia and he doesn't recognize her. I was afraid
fucked up. That's fucked up.
Why?
What?
He has the amnesia.
Well, of course,
I don't
it's
like
fucked up.
that.
That's why it's bittersweet.
I know, but I want him to be happy.
Hold on, what is sweet about it though? That's what I
Because they found each
because
other.
you said bittersweet, but why is it sweet? Like,
Because she has her answer that he is not dead.
He's not dead.
That's the sweet
That's
part.
great.
I don't know.
You'd rather him be dead if she were her?
It would just be bitter if she found out he just died.
Tyler doesn't think it's sweet because he's selfish. Because he says
It's sweet that if they found each other again, or she found him again. He wasn't looking for her.
Tyler's like, if he can't remember me, then it's no good. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even want him.
She's
I don't want him.
I will say that it's more bitter than it is sweet, but there is still a sweet element to it.
You know what? I respect your opinion. I wouldn't characterize that as sweetness, more as like she got satisfaction knowing that he's alive. However,
now I feel like my opinion doesn't matter.
That's sweet. That's satisfaction. There's the sweet.
I don't know if that I wouldn't characterize it as sweet, just more like a satisfaction to the investigation.
It's not literally sweet. Bittersweet means some good, some bad.
Okay.
That doesn't mean it's sweet and sour.
I guess I
literally sweet.
I guess I have a different definition of sweet, because when I think of sweet, I think
I'm not saying it's sweet. It's good and some good, some bad.
I think of like the end of like 500 Days of Summer, where that's a bittersweet ending, where it's bitter because
what's sweet about it?
Because he finds Autumn,
and he's gonna fuck up that relationship too.
You think so?
Yeah, because he's a beta cuck.
Wait, really?
Use your brain. Use your brain.
But I mean, he might as well be dead to her, and so
no, they could start over.
How are they going to start over? He's basically a vegetable at this point.
What? He's fully conscious and talking.
He's like building things with wood.
He's mentally a vegetable.
No, he's not.
He didn't like go back to being a child mentally. He's like
he just doesn't remember.
I didn't say child.
That's
mentally.
what you said. Vegetable. That's someone who is who is in a coma. Shut up. That's someone who's in a coma is a vegetable. Someone who's brain dead is a vegetable.
He's drooling on his work pieces as she comes up. And she's looking at him and he's just like, whoa, pretty.
It's not Simple Jack.
Yeah. You make my heart happy.
That kind of what it felt like to me though. Like he didn't seem very coherent.
So if you have memory loss, you're basically.
So what are you then?
I was gonna say you have a severe memory loss many times. Are you calling yourself a vegetable mentally?
Yeah, well,
a mental vegetable.
No, I'm not
a
gonna.
vegetable.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can interpret it as your classmates. You can interpret it as what you will.
I think you're protesting a little too much.
No, I'm not protesting. I'm self-reflecting. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm not.
Cajuns.
But yeah, that massage scene, man.
Can I-
Like,
can I-
I did
can I
not
say-
like that one.
We're done with the
Oh,
massage
going back
scene.
to the massage.
We're done with the
You went
massage.
full circle to the fucking massage again. They keep talking about she's playing a tuba. It doesn't quite look like a tuba. It's a
That
little
was a
small.
bassoon.
No, bassoon's a woodwind instrument. Bassoon's like a giant oboe.
No, that looked like a tuba. What are you
It
talking
looked,
about?
it looked a
No,
little too.
tuba's like a big.
It's big.
Oh, it has like the
Like
huge
wraps
horn.
around you.
So that's probably
Not a French horn.
that's
but
a marching band tuba, the one that wraps around you so you can hold it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's probably more like a baritone horn or a sousaphone, but it's just a little too small for a tuba. I mean, maybe the tuba's evolved over the years to be much larger in what we consider a tuba. Because I could play anything with a three buttons on it. Yeah, like a trumpet I'm not good at, but I played trombone for years, and it all correlates to different the slide positions correlate to finger positions. So
Yeah.
I could play tuba, baritone horn, sousaphone, things like that.
Nice.
And it looked a little bit like a smaller version of a tuba, which would be more like a baritone horn.
I like that there was a lighthouse involved in the movie too.
I like that she was trying to recreate the sound of the lighthouse too.
Yeah.
That's very like autistic of her.
I was
The only I bought this instrument specifically so I can make the sound of a lighthouse horn.
Like when I first saw the lighthouse, I was like, "Oh yeah,
Hell yeah!"
I was like, "Now we're in business. Now you've got my attention."
I did like the little game that she played with herself, where
that was cool.
She was like, "If I don't get to the bend before the car gets there, then Manesh is alive, or
he'll survive. He'll come back alive."
I really did like that because have you guys ever played that game?
Not specifically. I've something like it,
Not
where
really.
it's like it doesn't really mean anything, but it's like your own head canon.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if I do this, then this is gonna happen. Or
If a butterfly lands on me, that means someone's thinking about me.
it's usually when I'm making a decision on something to like buy something or whatever. It's like there's one left of this very expensive thing. If I come back tomorrow still here, I'm getting it.
Oh
Right.
yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
It works similar with a coin flip, because when you call, if you have somebody else call it in the air, you'll know the second that what they say, what you really want. Because
Yeah.
if they call it and you're like, "Ugh, I want the other thing,"
Yeah.
you'll know immediately.
Yeah, I really like that, how that was like a prevalent thing throughout the whole film. Like if I get to the car bend, her hobbling with her polio legs down the hill.
Marion Cotillard's the character of Tina Lombardi only had 8 minutes of screen time, but she won the Caesar Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
It's included amongst the 1001 movies you must see before you die by Steven Schneider. And it was a Paris court ruling prevented the movie from receiving state financial aid, which was reserved for French movie production companies because it was produced by a company owned by Warner Brothers, not a French movie company.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what?
And it was $60 million, the third most expensive French movie ever made.
I don't doubt it
60
because
million.
there was a
It's
lot.
expansive.
It was
A lot of set pieces, a lot of range. Some really great when they called for all the soldiers to go over the wall and just like storm the Jerry's, and they get their bayonets ready.
Yeah.
That like pullback shot, the camera's pulling away,
Yeah.
like running down the trench backwards, and just seeing everybody load up their bayonets and then go over the wall was really good.
It's
One shot was super impressive.
And what I really, another aspect of this movie that I enjoy is it's pretty historically accurate as far as the French army goes, because in World War I, the French army was used to traditional warfare but the Germans, they developed machine guns and they developed the planes that they don't have to shoot, that they can shoot out of the Albatross. And so I really like that accuracy because the commander is like, all right, let's charge him. Let's go. And that was like a huge point of contention with like the French top brass because they were not understanding why all of their soldiers were being killed because they were just going into the dead man's land, thinking like they could just charge these Germans that have higher powered weapons, and the Germans are like, "You dumbasses!"
Yeah, I mean, World War I and World War II, the advancement of machinery and weapons, human killing devices was really amazing in that time.
Yeah, I think Peter Jackson did a whole documentary on World War I, We Shall Not Grow Old. I've been meaning to check that one out. I don't know if it's streaming or not, but I've heard really great things.
You should download Hardcore History, the podcast.
Oh, I've listened to Hardcore History. Yeah, it's great. It's great stuff.
The actors that were shooting in the trench scenes were wearing scuba wetsuits to shoot the scenes under fake rain due to the cold.
Yeah.
And the guy that played Manesh, he ended up having an allergy to the wetsuit and got a rash all over him.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
God.
I like the scene with the guy with the wooden hand. That was pretty cool too.
That was awesome. I thought that wooden hand looked sick, and I was thinking
cool to be able to crank your hand and crush someone's skull with it.
Very slowly.
Yeah, very slowly.
Just like it'd be like in was it Casino where they put the guy's head in a vice?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But with a hand.
Another weird piece of trivia. So everybody knows Jodie Foster was in Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
Gaspard Ulliel, who played Manesh, he would end up starring in Hannibal Rising as Hannibal Lecter.
Oh.
Yeah, so he ended up playing Hannibal Lecter at some point.
Hannibal Rising, man. I only saw that movie once, so I wouldn't even recognize that face.
Any other specific scenes you guys want to call out?
Well, the massage scene.
The massage scene again?
Yeah.
You just want to talk about her booty again, huh?
I just want to get in there.
Speaking of brutal deaths.
No, like I was actually pretty passionate about that scene being cut because I felt like there was no need.
Why?
There was no need.
Well, she was talking specifically about how basically like her emotional needs while he was away. He's like, he knows that the masseuse.
But they already had a masturbation scene with her too.
Was there a masturbation scene?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, so like they could have just done.
But that was like you didn't see anything.
Oh well, you saw something.
No, you didn't.
What scene was that? What is she?
Well, she's like laying in bed and she's talking about it. She doesn't say masturbation, but
pleasure herself.
It's very much like a very less crude version of like the one in Black Swan.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, where she's just like laying in bed.
But that's again, there's no one else involved in this. And this one, she has a man with a fantastic mustache.
Yeah, he does
rubbing her naked body.
Well, at first it's
he just lingers too long.
At first, it's the woman. It's the the aunt massaging, and then it cuts, and then it's like a man.
Wait, really?
I think she starts.
Yeah,
I think she starts doing it, and then he ends up doing it on the daily. But it's like she's essentially saying, I'm not going to pay attention to this guy who clearly has it out for me, and he's commenting on her figure and stuff, respectfully.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing for a masseuse to say. Like, what if I was getting a massage and someone's like, "Man, you got a very nice figure.
You got a great figure."
I'd be like, "Huh?"
They'd say, "I've never seen an ass so flat."
You'd be like,
"I'm about to have the hardest boner right now."
Tyler, what would you do if you were getting a massage and someone offered you a happy ending?
I would
roll over and just point down.
I would politely yet sternly decline and say, "This one's on the house."
This one's on. What does that mean?
It means
I'll do it for you.
I'll give you a handy.
Have you ever had a man massage?
Oh yeah,
I've never been massaged.
You never been massaged, really?
Not professionally, at least.
I
haven't.
I prefer the man massage.
They know how to get in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they know the male figure.
I prefer to go full nude. Most of the places I prefer you keep your underwear on. I say nope.
Towel, sir? No, thank you.
No,
thank you.
Towel only. That's all they get. I'm like, you signed up for this. This is the job you chose.
You know what you were getting yourself into.
Wow, you have a nice figure.
They try to put on
tense.
that really relaxing music. I'm like, nope, yakety sax, please. That's my preferred.
At the fear of getting canceled, I thought
here it comes.
At the fear of getting canceled, I thought her hobble was really funny. Every time I saw it,
her hobble was funny when she limped.
Yeah.
Because of the polio?
Yeah, because of the polio.
Right.
It was funny. Every time she was running.
Why don't you stop talking for a while?
She looked like a jackass just hobbling around in the field.
From now on, you
So people with limps look like jackasses, according to Tyler.
Hell yeah.
No, just within the movie. Just within the movie. It was just the way.
Weird take.
Just the weird.
Look at that cripple. Look at her go. I liked her cool wheelchair with the secret compartment.
Yeah, that was awesome. I really liked her cleverness in going into the military archives, like being in a wheelchair. Although I was thinking to myself, because she can walk, it's like, okay, so she's doing a disguise, like she's wheelchair bound. But now I'm thinking, because she has that limp, maybe she didn't need the wheelchair, and
it's more of a convenience thing.
She was just
she could limp through town forever, but it's like much easier to just roll around, you know?
Limp through.
Because she's at home, and if she's like walking through the field and stuff, she's not
hobbling around.
Yeah.
Having conspiracies.
Hey, Angry Otter Reacts is back in the chat. As they say, when I lived in the Philippines, a 1-hour massage was $20. I had them often, but never a happy ending. LOL. I'll believe it when I see it, muchacho.
I always request an unhappy ending.
An angry ending.
All right, I'm done. Get the fuck out of here. Make sure you leave a tip, asshole.
Just insult me before I get out of here.
Oh, that's great. Love it. Thanks for sticking with us, Angry Otters. I'm not sure who you are or how you found us, but we're happy that you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be really embarrassed if we know you in real life.
Small little channel here.
I don't know. We had a lot of activity.
Any other standout scenes, guys?
I think the battle.
If you say the massage scene again,
please stop talking about her ass.
I think you like it, actually.
I know,
considering how much you keep talking about it.
No, but in as far as in the context of for the movie's progression.
How about you, Joseph? Tyler's been saying a lot.
What?
What? Any scenes that you have that stand out?
No, not specifically any specific scenes. I mean, the killing the general or whatever guy was pretty memorable, and how it happens.
How'd you like that guillotine?
Oh, that scene was
Joseph.
It was. They were very efficient. They're just like, lay down, roll the body in the box.
Boom, right in the box.
That's it.
They do it quickly, too. They're just like, all right, get it in
We ain't
there.
wasting no time.
They're efficient over there.
Chopping off heads. They have a lot of experience.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, we should bring the guillotine back.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah. Make it a dick guillotine.
I was going to say, not always the head, though. Sometimes just a hand or finger, penis.
I think there's actually, unrelated to the movie.
Okay.
I think there's a short film about that kind of subject matter where it's a different reality where there's like a person who commits a terrible crime, and if there's a family involved, the family can determine
Infinity Pool.
No, not Infinity Pool. The family can determine like the punishment, which is slowly chopping off parts of their body until they end up being a nub.
Looper?
No, it's not.
Just being
is this a movie?
They're just
It's a short film, I think.
They're just
really?
a human.
Yeah,
that sounds terrible.
They're just a human pillow.
Yeah,
human pillow.
Essentially, it look. I haven't watched it, but it looks very like brutal.
Yeah, that sounds brutal. I don't know. I mean, if I had to choose my own execution, I'd probably choose guillotine, mostly because for the experience, like. Because they've done studies like where like when the head's chopped off, like you're still conscious. It'd be so interesting to know like how to look around without a body for like, I don't know, like 30, 45 seconds.
Oh,
probably be terrifying, but it'd be interesting.
I wonder what it takes to be an executioner. Like, how do you get that job?
Oh,
Dad did it.
Yeah. It's like being a doctor, family business.
I wish like when they would do executions like in prisons, like they would give like the guy like the old like medieval style hood,
the executioner hood.
Yeah, and like he comes in like.
I actually want them to dress up like Tom Hanks in The Green Mile and say, "Roll on too."
Yeah, I mean like that.
I want a Green Mile death.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, like we gotta. I mean, yeah, these guys they had committed heinous acts towards humanity.
So you think?
But let me.
The people who are going to be killed in Tyler's utopia, just killing people left and right, laughing at cripples running through the fields.
It's so funny.
Are you okay, Tyler?
Let me just double down on it.
Just
Why don't you stop talking for a while?
galloping through that.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Interesting.
There is no racial bigotry.
He drives by schools, laughs at kids with special needs.
I know he just falls around the short bus laughing his ass off.
I'm having a jolly time.
I'm gonna put Tyler's contact information in the show notes for this.
Yeah,
and send your hate mail over.
Par for the course.
Actually, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com if you have hate mail or love mail. Send us an email. We'll read it.
For all of us individually?
Anything. The show,
Feedback?
Tyler, Joseph, Peter.
It's probably going to be more me, but yeah. Yeah,
you're like the sounding rod for hate.
Yeah.
You're like the lightning rod.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm like conjuring it from above. All right, I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, either. Okay, so some grades on this movie. Pete.
Okay. My rating is I'd say A. I almost said A-, but I was pretty captivated by it. I think that I didn't really feel like it was too long and drawn out. I feel like the story was expansive enough and far-reaching enough to where it was interesting in a way that, you know, if I lost a little bit interest in the story and I'm like, okay, get to it. I know we're going to find him at the end. Learning about all these other characters along the way was really good, and the setting was great. It felt like it was appropriate for the era. I think the cinematography was bold. It was very well executed, and it was nominated for cinematography and like set design, I think, or something like that. Art direction,
production design.
Yeah, something like that. I think at the time, I think it was called something different, but
art direction.
Yeah. So I mean, well deserved in that regard. And I'm really glad that I watched it. So thank you, Binge Lord Dan, for putting it on the wheel. It's an A.
A. Okay, Tyler. You kind of gave your grade already.
Yeah, but I still stand by it. Yeah, it's an A for me. I think the depiction of World War I was very good. The juxtaposition between the whimsicalness of the French countryside to like the cold, hard life of those French soldiers in the trenches was really well done. I thought there wasn't really any lulls in the dialogue. I didn't find myself bored. I was wondering if the narrator was going to make an appearance, because that didn't make sense to me, because it was like, why do we need narration? Just tell the story how it is. And if you are going to have a narrator, have it be a part of the story. But that's just like nitpicky, because it's still, like you said, Pete, it captivated me. Like, it was a very, very interesting story. Much better than Amelie, for sure.
It's not a competition, Tyler.
What do you mean? No, I'm not competing against anything. I just think it's the more superior movie. And
what about Resurrection?
It's better than Alien Resurrection. This is better than Halloween.
It's better than The Lighthouse.
This is better than.
Stop it!
Is it better than Blair Witch Project? B- movie.
Stop it! But
you gave it an A, so yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
Yes, I thought it was a very great movie.
Okay.
And we need more World War I movies.
Do we?
Yes.
I don't think we do.
There's not enough. We need more.
I don't think we need more.
More, damn it.
Like, I don't mind them, but I don't think we need any more.
I don't know. I think we're due for a good World War I movie.
I feel like we have.
But anyways, yeah. Solid A. Thank you, Binge Lord Dan. It was a great watch.
Awesome.
Okay. Minus the massage scene. Fucking hated that. It's terrible.
Yet simultaneously enjoyed it.
Of course you did.
I don't need this, but I do.
Whoa, Tyler, put that away.
I don't need this, but I appreciate it.
Yes.
Well, we have ourselves a triple A movie.
Triple A movie.
All right. Where we are.
Triple A, A's all around. Yeah, I have not much else to say about it, but yeah, it's very captivating from production standpoint, storytelling standpoint, and the characters were well written, and it had a whimsical mystery nature to it, while also being depressing and sad at times. And all to end up and culminate to a very bittersweet ending, which was very much appreciated and I liked. So that's it for a very long engagement. Now it's time for the wheel.
1 wheel, 8 slots, 3 hosts. This is the Wheel of Destiny. That's right. Very long engagement off the wheel, and that was a Patreon pick. So as it goes for new listeners, we have 2 slots on the wheel here, as you can imagine. 8 slots, 3 hosts. And
1 wheel.
The 2 extra, yeah, there we go. And the extra 2 slots are filled up by Patreon members. Our current Patreon pick is the Stanford Prison Experiment from Jack. And the one that's going to be replacing that is from Heather. Cool-ass yard duty Heather. And her pick is Kentucky Fried Movie.
Kentucky Fried Movie?
Yes.
Fried Movie.
Is this a parody movie?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Sounds familiar.
Kentucky Fried... 1977.
Okay, now I...
John Landis.
Oh, really?
Directed.
Was not expecting that.
The daily programming of a fictional local TV channel presented as a series of highly irreverent skits.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm trying to see if I have any... like a message from her as to why. Let's see here.
Why?
Why Black Dynamite? Why? Okay, let's see here.
Black Dynamite, I
1977.
sell drugs to the community.
She says, I would suggest checking out the Wikipedia page, though, to make sure that it's for you. It's Zaz. It's the Zuckerberg brothers, I think. Not Zuckerberg.
Zucker brothers.
Zucker brothers, yeah.
David and Jerry Zucker.
It's Z-A-Z before airplane. If you've seen me use feel around references on Twitter, this is where it comes from. If you'd like a different film, let me know. I said, nope, we're right on it.
Nope.
We're going to go in blind.
It's done.
It's done. Okay, cool. So I'm going to recap what's on the wheel here. We have, hey, Big Red. Who's this? Big Red Dal.
Come on, dude.
Come on, dude. Hell yeah. I don't know who Big Red Dal is.
No.
Oh, is it Dallas? Dallas Terry?
Oh, is it?
Maybe.
It might be him.
Hey, Dallas. What's up?
I will say I will not be here next week, so I'm negating all of my picks.
Okay, so if it lands on Joseph's, we're
spinning
gonna spin
it again.
Okay, cool. All right, let's give it a spin. See what's on the wheel for next week. I want Dune 2 as well.
If it lands on, okay, it's not going to. Oh, Iron Claw.
The Iron Claw.
Yes! Yes, finally.
Finally, it just got on the wheel like 2 weeks ago. All right, the Iron Claw.
Yes. Jeremy Allen White and Zac Efron at their most buffest.
Yeah, buddy.
It's a lot of beefcake, sweat, wrestling.
Well, we've all seen it already. So.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
And I will not be rewatching it for the show.
What? Why?
Because I just watched it like 2 weeks ago.
This was the.
What do you mean you're not going to rewatch it? You're not going to.
He already wrote down
I
his
took
thoughts.
very detailed notes because I knew that was coming up on the wheel.
You did?
Yes, I did. Because you put it up the second it went on streaming. I was like, I can't wait to watch the Iron Claws. Just hit streaming, and you're like, I'm gonna put it on the wheel.
Because I was.
So it could be months before you have to watch it for the show, Pete.
All right.
This was
Fair enough.
This was the
Dickhead.
first
Fair
movie.
enough. Fair enough.
The first movie I watched of the year, January 1st.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Tyler, what was your first movie of the year?
Whatever we reviewed.
Yeah. It was a Patreon pick, I'm sure, because we were doing the Patreon. The Patreon push.
I don't. I can't recall. I don't know.
Let me see. Let me check my
Wonder-
letterbox.
I wonder if there's a handy app to log movies.
It'd be great.
I don't know. I'm mentally a vegetable, as we all discussed.
My first watch of the year was, oh God, Founders Day.
Oh.
It was. I saw a preview, one of those like mystery movies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst. One of the worst movies of the year, actually, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna watch the Iron Claw.
Yes.
And maybe we'll have somebody fill in as a guest host.
All right, try. I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah, you're not gonna be here. And you're like, hey, I don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
Again. It's just a depressing movie, you know? I don't want to watch it a second time. Maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see. Are you gonna watch it again, Tyler?
Why wouldn't I? I own the movie. Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot you bought it.
I
and
bought
then like
it.
2 weeks later it went on streaming.
Yeah, 2 weeks later it went on stream, and I was like, damn it.
All right, cool. Well, we'll do that.
No
But not
regrets.
even a physical version.
No,
you bought
they-
a digital version.
Which they can take away from you at any moment.
So it's not even really yours. You're just renting it for however long they have it up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Jack says his first movie was Past Lives. I love that movie. He hates it. He hates it.
Who? Oh, Jack.
Jack doesn't like it.
Oh.
He says, I don't know what I'm not understanding. Why do people like this movie?
I don't get it, man.
The husband's a cuck.
That sucks.
Yeah, that guy sucks. All right. Anything else, fellas?
No, I think that's it.
No.
Okay. Thank you to everyone in the YouTube live chat. We got Dallas. We got Jack. We got Angry Otter Reacts, who apparently has made a horror movie in 2011, and the movie Lawless is about his family, his great uncles. That's really interesting.
We should check that out.
Yeah, I told him to send me an email so we can talk a little bit more about it. But he says my cousin is Tigress from the Hunger Games and the witch in The Conjuring 3.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool.
The devil made me do it.
Is that it?
I think it's Conjuring 3.
Awesome. Yeah, pretty cool. I like it. So anyway, yeah, thank you to everyone in the YouTube live. It's really fun when we have active chatter in there. And thank you to everyone else who's been joining anywhere else. If you want to join us on the Patreon and you can join our cool-ass yard duties, Javier, Heather Sex, Ryan, Corbin, and Chris, you can hit up patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass. But watching on the YouTube, tuning into the live stream or the uploaded videos, those are other ways you can support as well. Share our YouTube page, more subscribers, all that kind of stuff. That makes a big difference. So we really appreciate all of the support. And until next time, thank you for joining us. Thank you for following along with a very long engagement. Follow us next week as we do the depressing Iron Claw Beefcake Express. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class, and leave us a voicemail, why don't you, at 209-730-6010.
And follow us on Twitter at Podcast MCFC and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class.
All right, we will see you next time.
See you next time.
See ya.
Ciao.